lying, thieving, and conniving politicians, and indeed any journalist that rises up to support evil. Any tongue that rises up to support evil, O Heavenly Father, you will strike them down and bring shame upon them, as you have disgraced the damnable zoological republic. We are praying to see that every knee shall bow before thee, and every tongue shall confess, as Yeshua himself confessed, that there is only one God in heaven, one God Almighty, who every glory belongs to. We are praying to see a new Jerusalem in Africa. We are praying to see a new heaven in Africa, a new earth, and a new creation. And that creation is Biafra. We pray for your abiding love and mercy. We pray above all that you give Nigerian youths the common sense, the fortitude, remove stupidity and criminality from their being. Make them to realize what lies ahead and to understand that this revolution will never come to an end until a just and equitable society has been enthroned. All this we ask in the name above all names, now and forevermore we pray. He said, this morning we are not going to deviate that much, because it seems to me that once we are confronted with multiple news items requiring us to task our brain not just to understand, but to comprehend and be able to distill, we are found floundering and wandering. This very morning, we remain on a theme that they have perfected. But I must also tell you that before we got to where we are today, I warned you about what is going to happen. You don't embark on a revolution unless you are determined and prepared to see it to its logical conclusion. The reason why I respect South Sudan and why I am not surprised that they are the fastest growing economy in Africa is because of their resoluteness and determination. They fought a war of attrition for 30 years. The only thing before South Sudanese was freedom. Every other thing never mattered to them. The only thing they cared about was to make sure that their people were set free. And they succeeded in doing that. For 30 years, they were fighting. The way that the mind of your average Biafran works, and from the events of the past few days, the way the mind of your average Nigerian youth works, I do not think that people are actually prepared to be free. Perhaps some of you love being ruled by cattle rearers. Maybe some of you love once in a while Fulani will come to places like Nimbo or Agatu and slaughter people. And I am astonished and perplexed as to how some of you actually reason. And I have concluded, I may be wrong and I stand to be corrected, that Radio Biafra and the gospel we preach on Radio Biafra needs to extend to every nook and cranny of the Zoological Republic. You people have been fed on a diet of falsehood and misinformation for very many years. We Biafrans are mentally and intellectually equipped to fight a revolution or to initiate a revolution and be able to sustain it for years. Nigerian youths do not know how to do civil disobedience. I'm sorry to say. They have done very well, and we commend them. But they allowed the age-old disease of a black man to afflict them. You left what you were pursuing and started pursuing bags of rice and cartons of Indomie. And once you embarked on that, you lost the rhythm, the momentum, the drive, and determination. The need to sustain your stomach became a priority, and you all lost focus because you are black people. That is why I insult black people every blessed day, that they may change. I warned you that Nasser El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State, in conjunction with Katrina Lang and the rest of the Fulani cabal, supported by a whole host, or should I say cast, of Fulani Caliphate apologists in the south, that they have deployed 4.8 billion to bribe media houses. Few of you believed me, but I'm sure many of you did not. I knew that they were going to bribe the editors of every major newspaper in Nigeria. I know that they gave money to BBC and to CNN and to Al Jazeera and to all the rest of them, and they did what they were paid to do. I told you they will bring out the army. They will kill a few people to strike fear into you, and as they are killing you, they are going to politicians from your villages to ask you to calm down, and they will deny it. The world will see it. They will sow seeds of confusion and doubt in you, and you will capitulate because you are black people. That is the way you are. Mentally, you're not tough. Mentally, you're not strong. There has been 2 landmark, spontaneous display of public anger as a result of heightened sense of enlightenment and awareness. One was the Ali must go, for those of you who are old enough, when a Janjaweed Ali was the education minister and he was messing up university education in Nigeria. University undergraduates got together and said that Ali must go. The Fulani and the British said no, and nothing happened. The next one was the death of the icon and pillar of truthful journalism himself, Delegiwa. When Babangida killed Delegiwa, there was also a spontaneous outpouring of grief, of course, at the loss of such a huge figure in journalism. The Nigerian public was appalled. They were revolted at the barbarity and cruelty of that very attack. Nigerians mumbled and grumbled for a few days. They came out, and after a while, the government of Babangida gave money to Ray Ebu of Newswatch, and the whole story died down. The same thing they have done again this time around, and we all could have succeeded. But you abandoned the protest to start looking for rice and for food, and you allowed your primitive, age-old ethnic sentiments to creep in. But at least we have learned our lessons. And one of the lessons learned is that, not for me, but for some of you young people from the Middle Belt and from the South, is that, 1, the same way you reason in the South is not how your counterparts reason in the North. They call Arewa North. the 13 or 12 Sharia states you have in the north. Their orientation is different from yours. Their value system and the way they see their worldview is different from yours. When they are killing you and protesting, or you are protesting legitimately for a concern that adversely affects you, they do not see it. Because to them, Nigeria means something different. To some of the idiots in the South, Nigeria means everybody being together. And what strikes me as shocking and very worrying is that despite the abundance of evidence that the Fulanis are looking out for their own, that Fulanis are intent on depopulating the population of the youth in the South, some of you still do not and will never get it. Last night when I was contemplating and praying, something struck me. And I now begin to believe that, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed that Chukwu Kikabiyama may have mercy. It seems to me that God in heaven wants to destroy the South. By which I mean Oduduwa and Biafra together. Because considering what happened, if you look at these past weeks with this very nascent revolution and protest, you will see that the protest, apart from Abuja, across the length and breadth of the Middle Belt, it was muted. The reason is that youths of Southern Kaduna, youths from Nasarawa, youths from all those other places in the Middle Belt, they are afraid of Fulani. That was why they did not come out. They are afraid because of years and years and years and years of Fulani subjugation. But in fairness, just came out to protest. And they were also intimidated into submission. If you have not learned anything this past 2 weeks, learn the fact that Fulani people are very, very resilient. They are determined more than all of you, but not more determined than IPOB. We are the only ones that can match them. There are going to be many more killings in your villages. The Fulanis will try to take over your land and they will occupy it. They are now going to enforce their waterways bill. This is something that Southern politicians do not understand because they are foolish, they are myopic, they are useless. And how can they all be this stupid at the same time? Why would people like Ohaneze, in trying to prop up Tinubu, started to play the ethnic card that it was IPOB that were destroying the properties of our Yoruba brothers in Lagos, when that is a lie? Before your eyes, all of you, 200 million people, before your eyes, the Koro, you were there when the people were shot. They have used Nigerian newspapers to sow doubts in your mind. Are you sure people were killed at all? All of you are there looking in this COG. May God have mercy on you people. I would not want to be in a country with people that reason the way some of you do. All of you were there. People were killed. People are still being killed. I warned you. You stop this revolution and they will come to your houses and arrest you. I told you. I warned you. But you did not listen. Because you are black in this UG. You never listen. You never, once you start a revolution, you don't stop. If they come out on the streets to look for you, you go into the bushes. You start a guerrilla warfare. You never ever stop, because once you stop, you are finished. I asked you a few days ago to go and watch the movie Kingdom of Heaven. Go and watch it. It was directed by one of the most legendary movie directors of all time. One of the most legendary, because I think he is in the bracket of Stanley Kubrick. Not all this nonsense you watch in Nollywood. Crap! Garbage! That's what you watch. That is why I warned you. I warned you time and time again. Chukwukika is our shield, is our armor, is our God. That is why you bear his name. That is why you bear his name. I warned all of you. Leave this audacious nonsense, you will not listen. Leave it, you will not listen. You don't hear. Anytime you put on audacious, God is angry with you because you don't believe he can protect you. You put your faith in nonsense. You go outside and they kill you, they shoot at you and you die. They come out with the native doctors, don't you know that? Don't you know that? You don't have brain. When the white man came to conquer Africa, did they have audacious with them? Despite all your native doctors and your Babalawo and your Dibias, did Oyibo not conquer you? Did white man that doesn't know any Dibia, did they not conquer you? Ndiara, you're doing audacious. And once you do it, you lose your senses. A combination of factors, because you people are in this yogi, you don't want to reason. You don't want to reason. Every day we come here and we pray. We ask God for mercy. You trust God and then you trust what one idiot is concocting in the village in the name of audacious and protection, charms and amulets. Are you not foolish? You people want to destroy the work that God is doing in our lives with your stupidity and your superstitious idiocy. Let me catch any idiot again talking about all this work. Idiots everywhere. Fools everywhere. We are going to go to battle with Chukwukika Abiyama as our shield and our guide, our protector and our redeemer, and we'll win this very war. Do you understand that? Do you understand it? I don't know why black people lack discipline. I don't know why we do. Look at Fulani, they sent shoe shiners to your village. Are they not the ones now fighting you in Obibo, fighting you in Aba? The same people shining your shoes. They sent them nearly 40 years ago. They gave birth to children. Told them, we are here to conquer these people. Do all you can to help us conquer these people. They didn't ask for money or anything. If it is you now, give me money, pay my house rent, give me money to buy granite, give me money to buy banana. Oh, we have nothing in a revolution. Because you're not properly schooled. All the years you've been listening, some of you have not learned anything. Fulani have an agenda to settle every Fulani, to see Nigeria as their home, and they see the oil in Biafra land as the resource they must get hold of, and they have done it in Iguacha under Wike. They have done it. They are the ones now doing oil bunkering and doing refining. Go to Iguacha, and that's why they are there. All the oil service companies in Iguacha belong to Fulani Janjaweed. And some of you idiots are still blind because you're useless and hopeless. That was why I came to the conclusion that maybe God wants to teach us a lesson. The same way God taught the Jews a lesson by allowing Hitler to kill 6 million of them. I believe that something on that scale is about to happen. Because we are foolish. Very, very foolish. Extremely foolish. And idiotic. Black people lack discipline, cohesion, and a sense of direction. That is why Africa is poor. That is why a governor can go and take rice belonging to poor people, steal it and hide it in a warehouse, and a fellow black person, a journalist, will be writing in defense of the governor. Black people in this UG, go and watch The Kingdom of Heaven. Fast track it to the last part of the movie, where the character called Belion was tasked to defend Jerusalem against the Muslims. The director of that movie is the very legendary Ridley Scott. Some of you use the word legend very easily. Ridley Scott, Stanley Kubrick. I call them the old guard. These are the directors that anytime you see their name on a movie, you must go and watch it. You must go and watch it. You must go and watch it. Some of you don't follow art and culture. You don't know what art is. You don't even read. Some of you do not read. When you want to know people that you must watch their movies, Stanley Kubrick, Ridley Scott, Sam Peckinpah, that directed The Wild Bunch. Some of you, you don't watch movies and you learn nothing from them. You watch Nollywood, you see one idiot with Nzu, he will rub chalk around his eye, he will be talking rubbish with Okoba. Chicken, Onakoinyo, you're watching garbage. You learn nothing from it. You become more stupid by watching it. Somebody will go and do a movie demonizing Shia Muslims for no reason because he has collected money, and you go and watch such movie. And you become more foolish in the process. I told you the other day the reason. Do you know why God loved white people, white Europeans? Because when they discovered the mercy of God through the gospel of the apostles, they embraced God. They built beautiful houses to God. They built abbeys and cathedrals. If you see it, the center of every town in England is a cathedral. But what you people are doing with the name of God is to steal, tithe, offering, sowing of seed. And you want God to love you. The same thing with all these idiots doing Odeshi. You are a fool if you do Odeshi. You are no man. And you are bringing death to your fellow people if you don't know. Why don't you people ever learn? I asked you a simple question. When the white man came to conquer you, when Flora Shaw, a woman, Akalab, named you Nigeria, did she come with native doctor or Odeshi? Because Britain came and wanted to attack. Although they claimed they came for diplomacy, they wanted to attack the Oba of Benin. The Oba of Benin sent the army of Benin Kingdom. They killed the British. And then Britain sent an expeditionary force to Benin. Some of you do not read. But I pray that from today, some of you will start reading. It was called the British Expeditionary Force to Benin. Go and check it. That was when they captured the Oba of Benin. They killed many people. But in fairness, Benin Kingdom then was offering human sacrifice, which was an abomination before God. This expedition happened in 1897. And as they described it, it was called a punitive expedition under Admiral Sir Harry Rawson, because the Benin army laid an ambush and killed a party of British diplomats, they claim, under the command of General James Phillips. Only 2 of them survived. And they ran back to the port and reported to London. London sent an expeditionary force. This force came in. Some of you see all those Benin, the bronze in British Museum. Do you know how it got there? This morning I will tell you. It got there because when the expeditionary force arrived in 1897, they proceeded to Benin. As the British were making their way coming to Benin City, the Oba of Benin saw the handwriting on the wall and felt that the gods were angry with him. In response to the relentless advance of the British, he started to sacrifice human beings. He started to slaughter people to appease the gods. The more the British got closer to Benin, the more black people died. People who could afford the British show, he was busy sacrificing them. Typical black, primitive African reasoning. Did all those sacrifices calling on the gods, did they stop the British from taking Benin? You doing Odeshi, stupid Odeshi. If you do Odeshi, it takes away that element of being careful from you. You are no longer careful. You are no longer afraid. It's like somebody drinking and driving, or you are under the influence of ganja and you're driving. You are no longer receptive to danger around you. You see a Janjaweed shooting his rifle, and you go and say, oh, I did Audacio. You stand there and you're shot dead. I said to you, when you want to bring down a prison, I kept saying it. I was horrified that commanders on the ground were not carrying out these instructions. Use Molotov cocktail. Do not storm the prison head on. Flush them out with Molotov cocktails. Flush them out, and then you kill them. Some of you are doing Rambo. Maybe you are watching a movie. You stormed prisons, and needlessly lives were lost because you don't listen. Some of you do not listen. In this UG, you don't listen because you lack discipline. Despite all the sacrifices made by the Oba of Benin, it did not stop Britain from conquering the Benin Kingdom. They burnt down Benin City. They set it on fire. They burnt it to the ground. The same Britain today that Katrina Lang is in Abuja controlling all of you. Because you don't know history. You have no idea of what your history is. They burnt down Benin to the ground and stole all the things you see today in Benin, in British Museum, that we are begging them to bring back. You look at that bronze statue of Festac, you can see the face, very beautiful, because Benin Kingdom was blessed with craftsmen and artisans. Craftsmen that nobody can do what they did with bronze today. Nobody can do it. Go and check the quality of it. It's at the British Museum. Go and have a look. Britain took all of those things away. But none of you hate Britain. I am British. I don't hate them. They did what they had to do in a time of war. But what I'm trying to point to is that all the charms and sacrifices and audacy that Benin did, Britain that came with no audacy, but with better brain strategy, defeated them. There is another movie I would like you to watch. Some of you, I'm giving you an assignment today. Leave everything you are doing and go and watch the movie called Zulu. It's a movie about the Zulu, the Zulu nation in South Africa. The original one was done in 1964, and I think another one was done later, and it was who was the lead? I've forgotten who the lead star was in that very movie. I've forgotten. And it was Michael Caine. Michael Caine starred in that movie, The Zulu. Go and watch it. And this is why white people always defeat black people. Go and watch the movie Zulu. In that movie, The British forces were outnumbered by over 200 to 1 man, 200 Zulu warriors to 1 British soldier. And they stormed the stronghold of that very battle. It was a very heavy battle. A very, very heavy battle. It was the Battle of Rocks Drift. In South Africa. How do you think white people got to South Africa? This was what did it. It was Britain that took South Africa. And then they fought with the Dutch, people from Holland, in the Boer War. That is why until apartheid fell, if you look at the flag of South Africa, you will see the Union Jack British flag is there. If you do not know, let me tell you. The Battle of Rocks Drift was the final battle to conquer the Zulu nation, fought by the British. But those guys are brave for Britain. Oh my God. Oh my God. They are brave. They were outnumbered 200 to 1. They kept fighting. And the Zulus kept coming. The Zulus were great warriors. They were fighting with bows and arrows. The British had muskets, they had guns. The Zulus did not have any gun. I want to tell you how foolish we are in Africa. And the British kept fighting. When they were outnumbered and surrounded, when there was a lull in the fighting, the Zulus went back to go and reinforce and was contemplating that they have died so much. But why is it that these people are not giving up? Because the British commander said to the surviving soldiers that they are not going to surrender. Because if you surrender, you will die. The same thing I warned you, once you're in a revolution, if you surrender, you are dead. That is why they are going house to house and picking people. That was why they even picked a woman that was going to buy bread and milk for the children. They brought her to the police station. People without conscience. And they locked her up. I warned you. Once you start, you don't stop. You never, if they overwhelm you on the streets, you go into the bushes. And that is what we are going to do. Right across the middle belt, the east and the west. Young people, if you want to secure your future, you must go into the bushes. If you don't, you are finished. They'll keep arresting you. Now listen. Do you know what the British commander said to the troops? He said to them, gentlemen, prepare to die like heroes. Prepare to die with honor. And they prepared. And they waited. Because of the fierceness of the battle and the determination of the British forces as rocks drift in KwaZulu-Natal, the Zulus became afraid and they withdrew. And that was how Britain conquered them. The survivors of this battle were not up to 12. Had the Zulus launched one more attack, they would have driven the British away. One more attack. But they became afraid. And they withdrew. And legend has it that only less than 12 British soldiers survived. And they ended up taking over the whole of South Africa. And subjugating black people for hundreds of years. Now, do you understand? That when you are in a freedom fighting, you need to develop mental toughness. Some days will be good. Some days will be bad. Sometimes you taste victory. Sometimes you taste defeat. But one thing you must have going for you is your determination to get that freedom for your people that you so badly crave for. Now, some of you may not understand this, but it is true. The same thing that the British did in KwaZulu-Natal in Africa, the Dutch tried to do in Japan. I want to tell you how other races think away from how we black people reason. The Dutch went to Japan, not knowing that Japan have already heard of what the British did in Macau what they did in Hong Kong, how they took over parts of China. The imperial throne of Chrysanthemum, which is the royal family of Japan, they knew what lay in front of them. The Dutch went to Japan and said they have come to buy goods and say, that's how they come to trade, like Royal Niger Company. We've come to trade. Let us exchange goods. And you know what Japanese asked the Dutch to give them in exchange for what the Dutch was taking from the Japanese? Japan said to the Dutch people, can we have one of those guns you have there? And the Dutch gave them a gun and took all they needed and said, oh, they are so primitive, they don't have guns, Let us go and see what we can do. Sorry, Macau was taken over by the Portuguese. I do apologize. The Europeans, the same way they came to Africa, they flooded to the Far East as well to take land that doesn't belong to them. In Africa, we capitulated. In the Far East, they fought. That is the difference. Places like India, which is more or less Asia Minor, they call them, they did not put up much effort. India fought. Tipu Sultan fought. That was the brave man, Tipu Sultan. Go and look for him. That was the man that said, I would rather die on my 2 legs than I would rather live for a day on my 2 legs than to live for 1,000 years on my knees. When the British besieged him to kill him, and because he was a very brave warrior, when the British defeated him in India, they respected and kept the family safe. Because Britain said, we respect brave people. And they were very brave. Tipu Sultan, go and check it. We are well read, we are well versed. Before, you cannot do this type of job we are doing if you don't study very well. If you don't know what you're doing. As I was saying, the Portuguese were in Macau, in China. The British had taken over Hong Kong. They were planning to. There was war raging. Europeans were trying to carve out the whole of Asia for themselves. Japan said to Holland, to Dutch sailors, they always come with ship initially. Please, can we have one of those guns? The Dutch went back and said, hey, let us launch an expeditionary force to Japan. They have nothing. Because the Emperor of Japan, of course, Japanese people are very intelligent. They went back and they copied, they replicated the gun into thousands, into millions. They were waiting for the Dutch. When the Dutch came to land, or when they wanted to establish what is called a beachhead in Japan, in one of Japanese islands, when they looked up, they saw guns pointing at their faces. And they ran back. And Japan was never colonized by Europeans. But despite our years of dining or trading with Europeans, no African country, including the brave Zulu people, they are very brave. Zulu people, very, very brave. Despite the fact that we have been trading with Europeans, no African country managed to produce a gun to rival the machine guns that the British had, or that they brought with them, or the muskets that they had with them. And I want to shock all of you. Do you know that the same guns that the British brought with them, before Britain came, 300 years before Britain came, the Hausa people had such guns as well, manufactured in Katsina, in Gobert, and in Kanu, and also in Zaria. Have you ever heard of that? That was why when Flora Shaw, the girlfriend of Lugard, went to the north and saw a relic of the guns produced by indigenous Hausa people, she was shocked. She marveled. She couldn't believe it. Do you know that if Hausa people, if not for the influence of the Fulani and how Fulani people destroyed Hausa monarchies, the Habe monarchies, the Hausa people had the right equipment to fight the British, and Nigeria would not have been colonized by the British. Do you see the negative influence of Fulani on the lives of indigenous populations in Nigeria? Go and ask any historian that knows his or her onions. When Flora Shaw came in her book, she was writing for the Times. She published an article in the Times newspaper. And she said that the Hausa people, Hausa, not Fulani, Hausa people, had an advanced civilization 300 years before a white man could manufacture a gun. Hausa people had it. The reason why Britain managed to overrun Hausa land so easily was because before the British came, there was a virus in the land, Fulani Janjaweedism, that neutralized the Hausa people to allow the British to take over. Hausa people were technologically advanced more than any other person in West Africa. Hausa, yes. Hausa people had muskets, they had guns before the British came. And the guns that the Hausa people manufactured were older than the ones that Britain came with. Flora Shaw, because her father was a general. The father of Flora Shaw was a general in the British Army. And she loved traveling. The family had a sense of adventure. Are you listening to me? Determination. It is not today that Fulani have sought. It's not today. I think that Satan created them to come to destroy people. That's just their job. Had Fulani not come and deceived ordinary Hausa people to turn against their own, which is what they always do. The same way they convinced Igbo governors to turn against their people, they convinced Ohanese. That's what they always do. I don't know how they managed to do it. I don't know. The same way they can go to Yoruba land and pick up somebody like Tinubu and convince him to become and make him the ruler of Yoruba people. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Fulani does this. Not that they went to school. I don't know. I kept asking myself, how do they do it? I have no idea. You'll be in your house and they'll come, they will go get one or two people, they convince them, oh, you're going to serve us, and they say yes. Exactly what they did to Hausa people. Because of them, the British came. And maybe Britain realized it and said, if not for this Janjaweed from the foothills of the Futajalon, we would have found things very difficult with Hausa people. And maybe that was why they gave them the rulership of the zoo. What am I trying to say? Is that in a revolution, your brains must be open at all times, receptive to new ways of thinking and new technology. If we had used the Molotov cocktails, as we said, we would have stopped them. I said use nails, pour it on the road in advance, almost 2 weeks ago. And you're calling me in the middle of the night, oh, they're coming through Enugu, and I told you what to do, and you couldn't do it. I said place nails on the floor, small, tiny nails on the floor. Any vehicle that has tire on it will be grounded. You couldn't listen. Your mind was on palliative, rice and the cartons of Indomie. You forgot the battle in front of you, that you are fighting for your future and the future of your children. Now this battle has gone to the diaspora. I remember what my mom told me. There is a diaspora that will save everybody. My mother told me that. This battle has gone to the diaspora, and you're going to see how we will treat these politicians when we see them. You'll be shocked what we're going to do to them. Because people in Nigeria, you're too hungry to fight a revolution. I told you before that Che Guevara, the celebrated, I think he's the world's most celebrated revolutionary. He came to Congo to fight. He got to Congo and he said to Congolese people, let us go into the bushes and fight. One said, no, my maize is there. I want to eat. Let me harvest my maize. The other one said, I have okra. I want to go and get my okra. The other one said, oh, let me go and get pepper. He left them and went back to America, to South America, and said, these people are not serious. And then he made that famous comment that an African man puts the needs of the stomach way and above the need for his freedom. Che Guevara, the most celebrated revolutionary in the world, he knew black people. He knew African people. Why was it that only the black race was enslaved and taken to the Americas to work as farm animals? Because we have no honor and dignity. Instead of a Japanese man to become a slave, he would rather kill himself. And funny enough, that is how we Biafrans used to behave. I have said this numerous and countless times. For those of you that have not read the book, Roots, go and read it. Read it, please. Some of you don't read. You just watch movie and stay on social media. You don't read books. Go and read Roots. I think it was written by Harvey, isn't it? What's the name of the author of Roots again? That very beautiful. Or you go and watch the movie. Maybe it's better for you. Go and watch the series called, I think it's either on Netflix or one of those places. Go and watch it. It's called Roots. Go and watch Roots. If you watch it, you will feel sorry for yourself. But there is a place of pride in that very book. There is a place in that very book where it's actually described who we are as a people. Alex Haley, that's the name of the author is Alex Haley. I read it as a 16-year-old. I read Roots when I was 16 years old. I was waiting to get into the university. That was when I read it. As a 16-year-old. Roots. Alex Haley. In that book, in Alex Haley's books, that was one of the most influential books in my life, because inside that book, I read that some people were taken from around Onitsha, from around Obaru. You know Obaru. The white people, the British came, slave catchers, and caught the man and the family, and a few of them from Obaru. They went along Orimiri Obaru, not River Niger. The real name is Orimiri Obaru. They took them all the way to the Atlantic Ocean as slaves. Of course, they stopped briefly in Ijoland. They took them to the Americas. They found themselves in Georgia, in America. They found themselves in a place called Savannah. I have been there myself. I fetched water from there. They took them to Savannah in Georgia, the creeks of Savannah. And in that very place, they don't speak English. They were doing sign language. The man asked them, Swahili, I never imagine, can you put on your back? The white man said to him that he should go with another man, that they are going to serve them. And the man from Obaru is from Obaru. The man said that he spoke in Igbo language. Where we come from, Ebani Sibia. Na mada na yefe madibia. In Igbo language. You know, those slave raiders in those days, they understood the language. That is why they can go and raid a place very easily. These people with their chains from Obaru in Anambra State, finding themselves in Savannah, in Georgia, the state of Georgia in America. It's from Atlanta to Savannah is 5 hours drive. I've been there. We drove for 5 hours to get there. 5 hours going, 5 hours back, 10 hours. The man said, instead of me to serve a fellow human being as a farm animal, we are better off dead. And they walked into the water and they drowned. And the white Americans were amazed, and they asked them, where did these people come from? They said they are Igbo people. Do you understand it? That book was an inspiration. That book told me about who I am. Alex Haley's Roots. that there are men of honor. Rather than become a slave, used like a farm animal, when I give birth to children, you sell them and I'll start crying for equality. I would rather die, because if I do it, you will have nobody else to sell. That is who we are. But today we have forgotten all of that. We don't even know who we are anymore, do we? Janjaweed will come and tell us what to do in our land, and we do it. They came to Ozowa and killed people. Nobody said anything. They went to Nimbo. In Enugu, killed people. Nobody said anything about it. The army was not mobilized. But Biafrans came out on the streets to protest. And rightfully so. And the army, the same army of Fulani people that did not go to Nimbo to save Nimbo people, now came out on the streets of Enugu to kill people. And all of you are pretending everything is normal. You're pretending all is well. Do you see how you deceive yourselves? Do you see how you deceive yourselves? May Elohim have mercy on all of you. If you want to do a revolution, you must be resolute, determined, and strong mentally. If you are not, then don't start. And I'm sure that the Nigerian youths are re-strategizing and reorganizing, and the next revolution, there will be no mercy. Have you not seen that we outnumber them? That when we came and took over the streets, there was no police and there was no army. Once you went back into your houses, they now reinforced. But before they reinforced, they did something that they always do very well. They use propaganda and lies. And some of you are very weak. There are very weak men. Very, very weak. They are not resilient enough to resist what they offer them. They went to Lagos and Abuja. They said, hey, this day newspaper. Come, my friend. How much you need? Oh, Oga, you know, my two daughters they're studying in Cyprus. That is, have not paid their fees. Don't worry, come. Come, Ali, give him a check there. They give him a check of maybe 20 million. And he will go to this day newspaper and say, the army has denied being at the scene of the shooting. The army said they did not kill anybody. Hoodlums and vandals have attacked a palliative warehouse. These hoodlums, what they're doing in this country, they want to divide our country. He has collected his own share. He's now talking like a compromised idiot. And they succeeded. And they put pressure on all of you. They lie, they cheat, they deceive. Now you've gone back to your houses, they've come out on the streets again. Do you see how it works in the zoo? Next time, if you are not prepared for this battle, please do not come out. Do not come out. That was why Asorok, the mask wearer, or should I say Fulani Cabal, that was why they gathered together and said, Buhari to Nigerians, be wary of divisive actions and utterances. They're talking about us, of course. They went to a meeting. I have the minutes of the meeting. They said that the greatest threat to Nigeria's existence is IPOB. We must demonize them. Goodluck Jonathan left the meeting and called Wike, who is loyal to him, and said, do something in Iguacha, please do something. All the ex-heads of state, go and read their statement. They're resolved that IPOB is the greatest threat that Nigeria is facing. Do you understand? Be wary of divisive actions is IPOB, and utterances. They got a few cowardly ethnic idiots from Igbo land and Yoruba land. They ganged up. They brought race in, they brought ethnicity into it. Despite the fact that all of you were there looking koro as DSS thugs were attacking protesters, you did nothing. They used BRT buses to carry protesters, to carry hoodlums from Mushi to protest grounds to kill protesters. Police were watching. The same police you trust, the same army you trust, Black people, you people have a mental problem. That is why they brought out everybody. It's IPOB's fault. IPOB did it. You know, Igbo people, they're very weak. You see an Igbo man now shouting, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. Once the enemy propaganda starts to filter through, if you look back, you can no longer see them. Because mentally they are not strong. Some people have said, right, oh, you should have calmed down. If we had not participated in the protest, they will say, you did nothing. When we needed support, you didn't give any. Now we have given support. They say, oh, because we knew you don't have the brain to last in this situation for only 4 weeks. People were shot at Lekki, and after a while, everybody disappeared. People should have kept coming. Go and bring your own guns in your houses, double barrel and everything, as we did against the thugs. Do the same thing against the army. We ring the whole places with CCTV cameras, broadcasting live to the whole world, so you will see them when they are coming. They weren't able to do it. Everybody went home, and they said, oh, go, we will listen to you. Go, we will listen to you. Some people called and said, oh, please, our life is in danger. Next time, tell me your life is in danger in Kanu or Kaduna because of what we are doing. You see what I will say to you. And they disappeared. But I am very, very confident. You see those people on the streets with now their bags of rice and dindomi from palliative warehouses. They are going to feed very well for the next few days, and they're now going to come out in force. And when they come out now, let me tell you what your problem is. The greatest problem you have in Nigeria is the politician from your village. Not even outsiders. The one from your village is more dangerous. They're the ones who are going to calm you down. Oh, don't do this now. Oh, don't do that now. Oh, don't do this. Oh, remember, it's our land. Remember, we have no infrastructure. It's only the field. And I asked them, is the police station at Ekusigo an asset? And they couldn't answer. 200 million people being treated like idiots. You have journalists working for politicians, all of them. Newspapers that should be writing and saying the truth, because they threatened Channels TV, AIT, and Arise with fine in a democracy. All of you were there looking, and they threatened them with a fine. Everybody developed cold feet because you're black people. Or should I say, the world is heading into a very dangerous place at the moment. I'm telling you the truth. We are going to rise up again and we're going to fight, and this time the fight is going to be more strategic. They don't want you to protest on the streets, then you protest in the bushes. That is the only language you understand. Of course, some of you, the same way you were looking for bags of rice, some of you will come out and start asking for amnesty. The Avengers came very, very close to achieving restructuring. They called them and gave some people money. And as they were going back home, their snipers were taking them out one after the other. They give you money now in Asaba at Ifan Okowa's office. They give you a bundle of money, euros. That was what they were sharing then. They give you a sack of euros, and on your way back to the creek, they wait for you on the road, and their snipers will take them out one after the other. That was how they killed the Avengers. That is why you no longer have the Avengers. They were killing their top officers one after the other. They came down to the creeks and arrested everybody and took them to Abuja. They are still there till today. Some of them, if you don't know, in DSS custody. That is how they do things in Nigeria. So you need to be very, very tough mentally to resist them, because everybody is in on it. Your so-called ex-president wants his allowance to continue. They buy him Mercedes-Benz Maybach every 2 years. They want to answer, because if you divide Nigeria, that means Jonathan can no longer have clout now to travel about and say the ex-president of Nigeria, or Obasanjo for that matter, because that country no longer exists. Can you imagine somebody coming out and saying the ex-president of Soviet Union? Who will listen to you? Or the ex-president of Yugoslavia? Nobody will listen to you. That's what they're doing. The worst enemy you have is that politician in your village. And next time, we'll get it right. I can assure you, we'll get it right. And on that note, we are going to open our lines and to see if 1 or 2 people can call, that we may take your calls this very morning. Tell us what is happening where you are. Tell us. You can deceive other people, you cannot deceive us. Anywhere I go to and you ask me, I am going to tell you the facts. The facts are that the protest was going on peacefully until they brought in their thugs and turned it violent. Have you seen how no newspaper is talking about the thugs brought by politicians and by DSS? No, they won't talk about it. It turned violent. Who made it to turn violent? Politicians. They started blaming ethnicity. You're an Igbo man, you're in Lagos. You're from you're Efik man, you're in Lagos. They brought in tribe and ethnicity into a revolution. Who did it? Politicians. Oh dear. Let us open the lines and take a few calls, please. We open the lines and we take a few calls. Once again, once I accept your request, now you can call. If I have accepted some of you that have sent a request this morning, the number is +44 77 61 82 5346. Please, if you've sent a request, try and check your phone again. I have accepted some of you, and now you may call. Once I accept you, you call, as this very person has now done. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. My name is Ifeanyi Chukwu, calling from Abasa.
What is happening today? Ifeanyi Chukwu, what is happening in Aba?
Well, sir, from the look of things, the people appear that we are
re-strategizing.
We are coming up.
Yes.
Re-strategizing, sir.
Yes.
Because I know our men, we are listening to you, and all your advice, we are looking into it and seeing a way to push forward.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I want to commend you. In fact, I'm one of the people you're teaching has at least I have grown mentally. My reason has changed whenever I listen to you. So I say, put more effort. Do not be discouraged, sir. We are with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You see, thank you, my dear brother. Let me tell you one thing about Nigeria and Nigerians that is why I hate Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, because you people are hypocrites. You people, excuse me, are gossipers. You people are cowards. Cowards. Cowards you are. Let me take this call, and then I will go and tell you what I'm saying here. Oh dear. The caller on the line, can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you listen to your phone and not your listening device, not your radio? Listen to me. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear me? This UG, black people. Unbelievable. I picked his call and he was busy waiting. I'm saying hello on the phone, but he wants the hello to come through the radio before he can now reply. This UG. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mazi.
Raise your voice or you unmuffle your phone. You're sounding like as if you're running away from the police. Is everything okay where you are? Your voice sounds muffled.
Can you hear me clear, Mazi?
No, it's not very clear. It is not, because this is signal. Signal is clean and clear. When I cannot hear you, it distresses me. I don't like that. Another caller is on the line. This caller, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning. That's better. That's how signal sounds.
I hear you.
Go ahead, please. Your name and where you are.
I'm calling from Abasa.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want to call you off air after this. Now I have a very important information to give to you.
Okay, no problem. You call me after this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, my dear brother. In everywhere in Iguacha that they call River State, Wike is giving money to families of soldiers and police. In Lagos, where this whole thing started, or should I say where it gained traction and momentum, Sanwo-Olu is giving scholarship to the children of policemen, the same policemen that caused the brutality that led to the protest. He is not giving scholarship to the families of those shot at Lekki. They are not giving compensation or paying for the fees of the families of those who were killed by the police. They are giving scholarship to those that actually did the killings. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. This is your one Nigeria. Fulani youths did not protest, but they knew the road to palliatives discovered by those in the south who are protesting. That is one Nigeria for you. Exactly the history, or should I say, the goings on in the country that some of you call your home. Disgraceful. Ndebisi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Iguacha.
Iguacha, go ahead. What is happening there? Has Wike come again today with his Janjaweed?
No, sir. I called for the number you gave for the military men.
You don't have it?
On behalf of the number, then no, they are not picking the call.
They will pick. It depends because the calls are too much sometimes. They are. We are seeking we are looking to open up. Listen to me. Listen, please. We are looking to open up more lines today, so many more calls will be taken. There are many people that want to leave the army, the air force, the navy, and the police. Many of them, and we have absorbed many of them already. But everybody keeps saying, "Don't say everything on the air." It's not everything we're going to say on the air. But the second phase of this revolution, the whole world will hear about it. Don't worry about it. People are now leaving the army in their droves, and they are joining young and brave Nigerian youths to try and make sure that that new society they are fighting for comes into existence. Many more lines will be open today. Ndebisi, thank you very much for calling. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. If I accept you, then you call. I accept you, then you can call. You can call. I believe this is a regular update. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. They cannot hear me. They are not there. Once I accept, then you call. If I accept you, you call. The caller on signal, can you hear me? Lisioji Black is listening. After hearing me say that it is not good to wait for my voice to come through your listening device, the next 3 persons that called is doing this exactly the same thing. Black people in this UG, they never listen. Black. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. Morning. Your first name and where you're calling from.
My name is Williams.
And where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Abba.
From where? I can't hear you. From where?
Abba.
From Abba. Go ahead. We're listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, I called to thank you for the work you are doing for us this morning. And moreover,
go ahead.
This is.
No, we can't hear you. I don't know what is going on, but the line is okay. We've spoken to a few people. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir. Good morning from here, sir.
Good morning to you.
My name is Pastor Jack from Lagos, sir.
Yes.
Although nothing much is happening, just like I said yesterday, that I don't actually want to divulge most of the information. People are actually strategizing that if they come out, they will not be able to quit. No police or army. You cannot see police or army on the road. Even though they are on the road, they don't put on their uniform. Every first person. That is just the real situation here. Nobody wants to identify himself as a man because they don't know what the people had in mind. Because the shaking in Lagos touched everybody, even though they can pretend. They are only making use of media to douse the tension, trying to demonize all the protesters by calling them hoodlums and all that. Whenever you tune your radio, that is the junk you hear from all the radio station and media houses. So that is what they do on a daily basis. Then in the night, they will rally around and arrest innocent people and call them the suspected hoodlums. That is what they are doing so far. But it will surprise them when the people will not able to get their information anyway again. It will surprise them. That is so far the update from me. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for that. People are going to rise up again, and this time around, no mercy. From today, I will no longer praise any politician because they are all the same. They are all the same. Anybody writing or inboxing me or writing on my wall in praise of a politician, you will be banned, you will be blocked. They are all the same. No more praise. If you hear me praise any politician again, please correct me immediately. I will not praise them again. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
What is your name and where are you calling from? Your first name only.
Hello, my leader. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Please lower the volume. Listen. Yes, this is Nnamdi calling live from Sapele.
What is happening in Sapele now? What is happening there in Sapele?
Well, from Sapele is movements are going on, but we are still re-strategizing. However, I just want to speak on the issue of students, the role of students towards the struggle.
Yes.
Please, I noticed that your gospel, you tend to neglect so much the students in this struggle, because if we look very well at the ages of people in the country, we realize that the youth age fall among students. But it is very sad that students are not even aware of how the situation in the contraction is endangering their future. So please, I would love you to be please intensifying effort, because I read about something like the Soweto uprising, which was done by even just merely secondary school students.
Yes. No, we are losing, but I understand what you're saying, Nnamdi. I understand what you're saying. The thing about it is that if there is an uprising now, let's say in Ibadan, after about, say, 1 day or two, people will start saying, I see one Igbo man there. He'll be like saying, Igbos, they do amo. But in South Africa, when there was uprising in Soweto, you did not hear people say it is the Xhosas that are doing it or the Zulus that are doing it. Only in Nigeria. That was the perfect thing that Britain planted into your skull to keep dividing you. But I have heard you, my dear brother, and I will intensify every effort. I will intensify every effort in order to make sure that the students come out next time. And that time, when we do it, we are going to win. I have a caller on the... I don't know how they got... You people are dangerous. So how did you people get this other... my private signal line again? But we use it anyway. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chukwushebem Fodike. I'm calling from Indonesia.
Oh, Fodike from Indonesia. Please go ahead.
Yes. So, my leader, I congratulate. I pray for you every day and for God to strengthen you more. But I just want to chip on something. No, our people, they have a lot of challenges.
Yes.
They have power challenges and also share challenges, because once you are not out of Nigeria for once, travel out of Nigeria for once, you are not getting anything they are saying right. So all the
So hold on. So what you're saying is that they have not broadened their horizon. So for them to absorb and analyze information is very difficult, because they've been in one place all their lives.
It's very, very difficult. If you ask them, maybe stay inside the bush and defend yourself, they complain about it, they complain about hunger, they complain about all these things, but they don't, because they don't know how it functions. They don't understand it. Not at all. They don't understand it. So I guess by now this Mekofo house will be burned down, and Ojuso Okano, and that is the one that vote Buhari into power. By now it should be burned down. We need to take this thing serious, because our people back home, these people are if you come most of the times, because they are very scared. Honestly, they are very scared. Once they are hearing your voice now, they have liver. After all this program and everything ends, they're like, how to go. So please, my leader, I think every state need to take care of their politics, their politicians.
For everybody, take care of your own politicians. That's what we're going to do. So nobody's going to accuse you. You live in Igbo land and you come here, you live there, and you go. These tribal idiots, tribalistic idiots. That is what they do. Fools everywhere. But we are going to stop them. Of course, they know. The young people are. Sometimes it's called taking stock, because if it is only Biafran youths who are doing it as part of the Nigerian youths, then we know what to do. But you are taking everybody along with you. We want to take the Middle Belt and the West along, everybody along at the same time. So it becomes they've not done it before. We are hardened in this. We've been doing it from day one. So we are hardened. They've only just started. They shot at them at Lake, and everybody ran away. That's how it is in the zoo. They killed us at National High School, Aba. We came out. They killed us at Tompo. We came out. We went for Trump rally. They killed us. We're still not coming out. We are hardened. The same thing with the Shia. What I was hoping was that the Shia could have risen up in the north as well to complement what was going on, but they couldn't do it because, of course, the Fulani Janjaweed is on top of them every blessed day. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning, my able director.
Good morning to you, my dear brother. Please, your first name only and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Mbabia.
And where are you calling from?
My name is Mbabia.
And where are you calling from?
Hello, my director.
I can hear you. Mbabia, where are you calling from?
Okay.
Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Angola.
Angola, go ahead.
Okay, there are some certain things that makes me, sometimes I became more passive about, you understand, concerning the how, not because I'm against the way you talk to these people, but there are some people that don't have that power or capacity as you thought. Like I see Nyanwodo as nobody, that's Igbo group or what they used to call it. I see it as something that is inferior, you understand? But there are many people in Igbo land which are the people that we're supposed to be tackling. You understand? This like somebody like Atoeze, for example, you understand? Those are the problem we have. For instance, the other interview he said that he's awesome, is full of new people that made him what he is. You understand? But this Nyanwodo and all those things, they are just like a puppet on a string. You understand? They control them. But the main problem we are having is these cabals, you understand, in our communities, like Atoeze and all those of them, you understand. But I don't see that Nyanwodo, let's just ignore him. You understand? He's just a puppet on a string. So he just do as they pleases. You understand? So he didn't say anything of his own, because you know that there is something you said the other day that Igbo group, or what did they call it? this group of Igbos, you understand, which is the head. You said that it's Hausa people that is these Fulani people that form that group. You understand? So you cannot form something. For instance, Nigeria was formed by British, and they put Fulani people in charge of it. So Fulani will do everything possible to please the British. You understand? To do the mind of the Britons. So that is the same thing that is happening. Nyanwodo is just like a puppet placed in that position. You understand? So you don't expect him to do much because he's nobody. He's just a local organization, which I know that IPOB is more than. How many people are in this what they call it, SND or what, or Igbo social group, or what they used to call it?
Ohanese Socio-Cultural Association.
Yeah, Ohanese. So I don't think that they have the capacity, the impetus, you understand, to do as you think, you understand, because this is just a group they formed within the cabals. You understand? If you are talking about them, they are not the problem we have. The problem we have is these prominent men. Nenwood is not a prominent guy. You understand? He live. I don't know. I was thinking maybe he live in America and come back. He didn't know even president. If he go into president, he will be happier. I meet the president. I have no. He just want to be famous, nothing more. You understand? That is just a group, which I know that IPOB is more than this group. You understand?
They are nothing. IPOB is stronger than the zoo. Talk less of all these
that's what I'm saying. Let's ignore these people. Let's tackle the main people. Because since you are talking, you have not talked about Atreze. You have not talking about what is they call Gene Wobo, or what is the one that betrayed during the campaign. That spoke outside during the interview, you understand? During the campaign of Ojukwu Award. So we have to tackle those people. Those people are the prominent men. You understand? Yes. This all the social cultural group, all these things, they are nothing. That is why you will see somebody say that youth Igbo leader, you do this thing.
Oh, your line is breaking up. I have an appointment this very morning, and somebody wrote something very interesting, which is true actually. You know that the police threatened to withdraw their protection, or the protection they give to these governors, and in this place they invited the army to come in instead. How many? Somebody's telling me there's 5 soldiers on my street terrorizing people. People are running. Only 5 people. Only 5. Oh dear. Anyway, we have come to the end of our program this very morning. I have an interview in the evening, so we'll not be coming this evening. We shall be back again tomorrow morning. But this evening, I have an interview starting, I think it's 8 p.m. I'm sure it will be advertised. And I'm looking forward to my interviewer asking me very serious and difficult questions so that people may be able to understand. I want people to ask me difficult questions today. Let me take this last call, please. Let me take it. I want to take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Good morning, sir. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Good morning to you, my dear brother.
My name is Bara, and I am calling you in the heart of Yenagua, Bayelsa State.
Yes, go ahead. They said that Bayelsa is not Biafra. Is that true?
As our first story, I'm telling you that I am a Nembe man. I know how come Biafra came. I know where the name originated from, and I am part and parcel of it. I am a Biafran by birth, spiritual, physical, and otherwise.
Do other people feel the same way you do in Bayelsa? That's what I want to know. Or are there people still grumbling and complaining that they want to Fulani more than they want their own flesh and blood? I want to know. Tell me.
Mazi, it's so disgracing, so disgusting that some few ones who are on the table of the Fulanis feel they are not Biafran.
So there are very few, not the majority.
Very
Is it the majority?
Like, no, not majority. Groups.
Okay.
Groups, just
okay.
Non-governmental feeling that they are not Biafrans because they eat from the Janjaweed masters they have. Mazi, I'm very, very pleased to talk to you this morning. I am an IPOB member, not just an IPOB member, I am a volunteer. I'm not just a volunteer. The name you called me some few days, Charles Humphrey, it's me. I called you this morning to give you full assurance. As a bishop here, I'm working very hard and very slow because I came to understand your way of preaching this gospel is the best way. And I came to understand that my way, working for the coming of Biafra, is the best way I think I should use. It's the best way I'm using. So with this opportunity talking to you today, the whole world is listening to me right now. I will talk to you that the whole 8 local government areas in Bayelsa State are fully aware of what you're doing. But though I know most of them are cowards, they can't come out and talk the way I'm talking right now with you on air. Yes. Something came up, and I will tell you this, and the whole world is listening. Even those that know me facially, as soon as I come out from the house now, they'll tell me you called, I heard your voice. Sir, never you lose confidence on Bayelsa State. And anything you need to do, please, you can get to the state coordinator and get to whosoever to get to me, because they know how to get to me. We are going to do whatever it takes. It's not all about a strong man or no strong man. I am a youth. I am a youth, and I know how long I've stayed in this country, this so-called zoo. I came to see that I am living in a zoo. I understand more when you start telling us the gospel about the zoo. And as a Biafran, I woke up and I took the bull by the horn. I am telling you this day, more of the brothers in the creek are fully aware, and they are just waiting for a go. I mean, it's a go, just a go. And as an IPOB member of this state, I'm giving you full confidence that whatsoever group that feels is not a Biafran, who will go to them and we see them just like you're doing, dialoguing. I don't want to put pressure on anybody, but if you come with pressure, we are fully standing by waiting for those pressures to come. Sir, this morning, I am very, very happy to talk to you this morning. As an IPOB member, indigenous person of Biafra, I give you my both hands and my both legs, my skull, every part of me, the last blood in me, that Biafra is here already. And thank you for the good works you're doing. Biafra is Bayelsa. Bayelsa is Biafra. The whole of the southeast belongs to Biafra. So, please don't relent. I pray you do good work. I pray God give each and everybody who believe in Biafra the strength to continue. I pray for the zoo youths, the Nigerian youths, to forget whatever whatever mindset they want to create on them. Let them just focus on what they are doing. I know these few days you've not been hearing protests or clean up here in Bayelsa. Yes. What I mean, yes, is this. I need to do the things the way the things need to be done. I am an indigenous person of Biafra, and I know how to deal with these persons. And I'll continue doing it the best way I understand to do it. So a few brothers in the house, they always sell out. I want to tell those in Bayelsa State, if they sell out in Bayelsa State and as an IPOB member, see, get lost. Just get lost. It's a warning to those IPOB members in Bayelsa and those outside and even in diaspora. If you know you want to sell us out, prepare for the wrath of Mara. I'm coming. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And well spoken. Thank you very, very much. And remain safe wherever you are. Remain very, very safe. Now that you have spoken, the 4 people who are hiding in his house, may begin to work against you. That is what he does. He works for the Janjaweed. They want to Islamize our land. They failed before. They are now also going to fail. And on that note, I thank you all very much for listening this very morning. As I said, I have an interview this evening, and I hope The interview will be explosive. I expect to be asked difficult questions. I don't like going to interviews and I'm being asked soft questions. We want difficult, hard questions. I can give interviews, and whilst doing so, I will pull my ear and my nose and my everything that I have so you can say it. Unlike the idiot in Asorok. A dead man is ruling you from a grave in the desert of Saudi Arabia. And you call yourself an intelligent person. Where we are Biafrans and we are doing all we can to impart the same level of resilience and knowledge and understanding in your average Nigerian youth. And I believe that in the coming days and weeks, you will see the result of all this hard work that we have put in. Young people said to me that they are re-strategizing all over Nigeria, and when next they come out, there will be no mercy. But as for going abroad, those abroad are even more angry than those at home. They can no longer go. These idiots can no longer travel abroad anymore. They are caged, and they will start dying very soon, one after the other, because they can no longer be able to access decent medical care. Once again, I thank all of you for listening this very morning with all the love in my heart and appreciation for your determination and resilience. Those of you who are still in this very effort to bring about our freedom. From me from here, good morning.
Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra, the first and the last. Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
Good morning, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this planet Earth. Once again, we welcome you to this live presentation this early morning. Today's date is the 28th day of October in the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. The time now is 4 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra. And by the same number of minutes, past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are domiciled. We are live and we are direct. And Chukwu Okike Abiyama is our Redeemer. And the gospel of revolution.
Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio. Radio Biafra, the first and the last. Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio. Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
Good morning, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this planet Earth. Once again, we welcome you to this live presentation this early morning. Today's date is the 28th day of October in the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. The time now is 4 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra. And by the same number of minutes, past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are domiciled. We are live and we are direct. And Chukwu Okike Abiyama is our Redeemer. We come to you this very morning with our gospel of redemption. A gospel of hope. A gospel of liberation. And a gospel of revolution. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the largest mass movement on the face of this very planet Earth right now, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB for short. I am also the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. And I also have a new role now, a servant of the brave youths of Nigeria. As it is customary for us to do on this platform, we are going to pray. And after our prayers, we shall delve into our lectures and our presentation this very morning, after which our lines will be opened, and I will take some of your calls. As I welcome you this morning, welcome other people as well who are close to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. And let us pray. When Yahweh Yeshua was asked, Rabbi, teach us how to pray, he stood up, looked up towards the heavens, and gave every praise to the Most High, because even Jesus himself realized there is none like Elohim in heaven. Pray then like this, he said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And please lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. He said, that was the prayer of Jesus Christ to the Most High. When they asked him, teach us how to pray. And that was how he prayed. Every adoration belongs to God Almighty in heaven. Every glory is his. And we are maintaining that tradition, the tradition of the ancients, here this very morning by praying accordingly to God Almighty in heaven, as even Jesus Christ himself did. We are live and we are direct. And God is in heaven presiding, and mankind is on this very earth, even bearing us witness. I got up this morning to this very news. I didn't quite know if I'm to believe it or not. But apparently it is believable. It is true. Leave IPOB alone and go after headsmen killing people in River State. Chibika Mechi tells Yesom Wike. These are two Igbo men in Igbo Cha, which is Igbo territory, Igbo land. Both of them have spent years serving the Fulani Janjaweed in the north, as it is now customary for most of our political leaders to do. One of them was responsible for bringing into power an aging, diseased, brutal tyrant. Chibika Mechi used the money belonging to River State to bring in Buhari into power. The other one, we are told, was fighting the Fulani Janjaweed by mouth in the open on television. But in actual fact, he is a worse slave than Chibika Mechi. At least Chibika Mechi speaks his mind. I respect him for that. He is not seeking to be politically correct. I don't know if it is as an act of repentance or political expediency, but recently he appears to be making a lot of sense. Or maybe because he knows his master Buhari is dead long time ago. Leave IPOB alone. If they tell you in this world that Chibika Mechi will rise up, of course, I'm not saying to speak in favor of IPOB, but to offer what I call a common sense solution to the madness that is Yesom Wike, I won't believe it. over the years, we have been on this very platform, shredding and letting the whole world know what an evil, terrible beast Chibuike Amaechi is for financing the campaign of Buhari in 2015 and ever since. We have been here defending Wike. I defended Wike. I campaigned for him in 2015. We campaigned for him in 2019. IPOB family in Iguacha. We came out and we voted for him. We queued up to make sure that we defended his mandate. And some IPOB family members were lost in the process of defending Wike's mandate. Today, Wike has turned to our oppressors and has now become the oppressor of the people of Biafra. And the man we thought was the reincarnation of Janjaweedism in our land appears to be making a little bit of sense. Leave IPOB alone. The former governor of Rivers State, Chibuike Amaechi, an Igbo man, Chibuike Amaechi, Igbo man, IGBO, has faulted the order issued by he's not a governor, Nyesom Wike, an Igbo man, but now a full-time Fulani slave, even worse than Amaechi. Leave IPOB alone. Chibuike Amaechi has faulted the order issued by Wike against family members of the indigenous people of Biafra in Iguacha, which they call Port Harcourt and Rivers State. Rivers State. What a useless, ridiculous name. Given to them by Gowon. Given to them by Gowon, courtesy of the British, to take away our original name, to confuse us and to deceive us. Iguacha is now Port Harcourt, named after a white child rapist, an English child rapist, Viscount Harcourt. A child rapist. He rapes children. He died alone and a disgrace. The name that you're bearing, Port Harcourt, is the name that is cursed in England, because his favorite is little boys. He likes to rape little boys between the ages of 6 and 14. That is the name you're answering, Port Harcourt. These UG black people, as idiotic as ever. A name that is not in England. A name that brings derision. A name that when you mention it in the royal courts in England, people will think you're insane. That is the name you're answering, Port Harcourt. The name of a pedophile. A pedophile, a diseased, a mentally unstable pedophile. That is the name you're answering. Port Harcourt. Rivers. What does it mean in Ogoni language? Nobody knows. What does it mean in Ijaw language? Do you know? What does it mean in Igbo language? Nothing. I hope you're following. Port Harcourt. What is there in a name? You may ask. No wonder they produce one idiotic governor to the other serving the Fulani Janjaweed, because of the name they have agreed to answer. The name Rivers was given to you by Gowon on the advice of the British. The name of the place is Iguacha, And as soon as Biafra is restored, that will be the name. Igwocha, that is the name. There is Igwenga, Opobo, and Igwocha, which is Port Harcourt. For your information, if you don't know, go and research it. These are Igbo territories. And so shall it be forever and ever. Fulani can try all they like. You can replace one idiotic governor with another. That is the name he's going to bear. Igwenga will be restored, and Igwocha will be restored. That is the name. Wike on Monday charged the 23 local government chairmen and youths in the state to fish out IPOB family members. The idiot doesn't know that the local government chairmen and the youths in the state are also IPOB. He doesn't even know that he himself is an indigenous person of Biafra, making him also IPOB because he wants to impress the Fulani so that Tambuwal can pick him as vice presidential candidate. Chibika Mechi is the Minister of Transport. He faulted Wike's actions when he spoke in Abuja yesterday. He asked the governor to focus on the real problem in Igwocha and leave IPOB alone. Do you know what Chibika Mechi, who is a full-time Fulani servant, said? You know, sometimes they come to their senses. This was the man who only last week said that the so-called South-South and South-East should come together as one. People are coming back to their senses. But instead, Daily Trust, that is a Fulani newspaper, and some ethnic jingoists in Yoruba land, like Femi Falana, and some perennial idiots and slaves in the east, like Nyawodo. They ganged up to encourage Nyesom Wike to make a complete and total fool of himself. Let me tell you what Chibika Mechi said in his own words. It is very funny that Wike has decided to leave his administrative works to arrest and kill innocent people of Obibo in River State. Innocent people of Obibo he is killing in River State. What have Wike done for Obibo people since he took over as governor of River State? A question I would like Wike to answer. The little Hitler. You know, I hate Igbo governors. From Ifeanyi Okowa to Ikpeazu to Wike. They're all Igbo. Delta, Rivers, Abia, Ebonyi, Imo, Anambra, Enugu, even Cross River. They're all Igbo, IGBO, Makadi Amama, Igbo. But now, this very day, because of the animosity and the venom in the voice and face of Wike, because Wike wants to bring division into our land, the Southeast governors were very hopeless. At least they said they have proscribed IPOB. They never asked anybody to go after their own brothers or their own sisters. What Wike is saying is that a brother can go after a brother, a sister can go after a sister, but meanwhile, Fulani is busy raping, pillaging, and killing our people. Wike, what have you done for Obibo? And you know the funniest thing? A few days ago, when the madman Wike was making the noise that we have now come to expect him to make all the time when he's serving his masters, his Janjaweed masters, he referred to Obibo as Oyibo, O-Y, instead of O-B. And he is an Igbo man. Ikwere people are Igbo people. And they know it. Everybody knows it. But because of abandoned property in Igbocha, because of the same thing that the Fulani did to their own... Oh my God, these people are evil. Fulani came and wanted to divide us, the same thing that Wike is now doing today. Fulani said to Igbo people in Igbocha, take your brother's property from Anambra, from Abia, from Ebonyi, from Enugu, from Delta. Take their properties in Igbocha. Tell them you are not Igbo, that you're Igbo, and we will defend you. We must learn this morning. The people, now listen very carefully please. The person who was instrumental to that abandoned property regime in Igbocha is an Ogoni man. And believe it or not, Ogoni people are not distinct as some of them claim to be. Ogoni is also an Igbo clan, the same way you have Ongwa today. It's how you have Ogoni. They are Igbo people. The same way you have Ongwa as a clan. Ongwa is the biggest clan you have in Biafra land, the biggest Igbo clan. Ongwa started all the way from Montana. And to Igbocha, to Okwa. Okwa is called Okwangwa. Okwa is Ongwa land. The same way you have, what's it called, Ogoni land. Ogoni. And do you know the funniest thing? I want to give people the history of the confusion in the so-called River State and the stupidity of some people. Based on what Chibike Amechi said. This history, I kept giving this lecture over the years until Igbo people realized that indeed they are Igbo after all. Now listen very carefully. Who created abandoned property? A man called Ken Serwiwa, who is today, he died a freedom fighter, and we commend that. But you know me, I always tell you the truth. It may be very bitter, but it is the truth, and I will preach it. There is something some of you do not know. The person that brought division into our land is Ken Serwiwa. Edwin Clark. Pay attention, please. Ken Serwiwa and Edwin Clark. It is not good to speak ill of the dead, but the truth must be spoken. And the Wike is continuing in the footsteps of Ken Serwiwa, and he will meet the same end as Ken Serwiwa if he doesn't take time. I know he's listening. They all listen. And this goes to all the governors of the so-called South, South, and Southeast. You must pay attention. Ken Serwiwa and Edwin Clark brought division into the old Eastern region. Ken Serwiwa was at my alma mater, of course, the finest secondary school in the world in those days, Government College Omwe. He was there. So also was Cyprian Ekwensi. So also was Chinua Achebe. So also was the best result in the history of WAEC or GCE in the whole of West Africa. The late Dr. J.O.J. Okezie. J.O.J. Okezie made the best result in the history of WAEC and GCE in the whole of West Africa. Till today, his result has not been broken by anybody. Dr. J.O.J. Okezie from Ibeku, from Obanankata, from my town. All of these brilliant people went to Government College Umuahia, including Ken Sarawiwa, who also was a very brilliant man, a writer and a poet. He's an artist. And you know me, I have a soft spot for artists. You know, things like somewhere that I love, Reginald Akuchie. If you know him, I grew up with him. Incidentally, he went to Government College Umuahia, and we also went to UNN together, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. People must pay attention this morning. Reginald Akuchie is a better artist than Leonardo da Vinci. He is a better sculptor rather than Botticelli. Reginald Akuchie is the finest artist I have ever seen in my life. I have been to art galleries, I've been to museums, I've seen what others have done. I've seen Rembrandt. I have seen all the beautiful artists you can think of. Reginald Akuchie is a better painter. If you give him the opportunity to paint something like the Sistine Chapel, he will do a better job than Honorati. He went to Government College Umuahia. Reginald Akuchie, very brilliant artist, but his talent was wasted because he was born in Nigeria. I said he is a better painter than any Italian Renaissance painter you can think of. If you sit down and Reginald Akuchie will paint you, he will paint you, you will be amazed. His talent was wasted. That's by the way. Ken Sarawiwa was at my school, Government College Umuahia. He graduated on scholarship given to him by the government of Eastern region. And I hope that Ogoni people are listening. The man who gave Ken Sarawiwa, or under whose regime Ken Sarawiwa's brilliance was recognized, is an Igbo man by the name Dr. Michael Obara. Ken Sarawiwa went to school, left Government College Umuahia, and became a very wonderful man. There is a motto at my school: In unum lucent, which means may we shine as one. Every Umuahian knows that. Ken Sarawiwa left and never shone as one because there is something called Nkwa when we were in school, you know, in those days. It's only boys' school, and it is a boarding school built by a man called Robert Fisher, apparently a Scottish man. And we are not allowed to go out. If you come into Government College, you don't go out. You stay in boarding in your hostels or in your dormitories, and then you go to class and all the rest of it. It was modeled along English public schools, like English grammar schools, the boarding ones, that is. There is a house in Government College called Kent House. You know, we have Kent House. We have Simpson House. All white people on the Ocha. I was in Cousin's house. Cousins was the guy that wrote the biology textbook. A white man, Cousins. We had Niger House. We had Wareham House, another white man. To the left of Cousins' house is Wareham House. We had all these white principals and white people all over the place. And also, as time went on, Igbo principals and the Ijaw principals. Now listen very carefully. I want to debunk all this nonsense about Igbo, all this rubbish that Wike is now peddling. Anybody who knows or went to Government College, you will know there is a house called a Rekosima house. A Rekosima is an Ijaw man. there were Igbo principals that came to Government College Umuahia. But the only person that they named a house after is an Ijaw man, Erekosima. Are you paying attention? That during the time of Opara, everything was done to integrate the East. Is there any house in Government College Umuahia named after an Igbo man? No. But there was a house named after Erekosima. Erekosima was a principal at Government College Umuahia. Ijaw man. And they named the house after him. A house is a dormitory where we stay. Erekosima. And I used to have a dream. When I used to dream in those days, most of my dreams, I was in cousin's house. Most of my dreams were situated in Erekosima house. And it never occurred to me that anytime I preach this very gospel, Biafra is almost at our doorstep. Erekosima's son died at Government College Umuahia. He was playing cricket. And the cricket, the ball itself hit him on the backside. You know, in Government College, we played every game. We played cricket, we played every game, just name it in the world. We played it. We played hockey, we played cricket, we played tennis. What's the routine play at Government College Umuahia? Everything we played. Not now, it's like a glorified primary school. Erekosima's son also went to Government College Umuahia. But he died, unfortunately, because the cricket ball, when they were playing cricket, the cricket hit his scrotum and shattered his testicles. And he died. So after that, they made it compulsory. You must wear a guard to protect your private part before you go out to play cricket. We played cricket at school. Oh my goodness. Do you know Ken Serewa was there? Ken Serewa went to Government College Umuahia, came out, became a very successful man. And one day we had a dance, Ongwa, during his time at school. They invited, was it Holy Rose? Not Holy Rose Umuahia because they were too small for us. We used to go to Ojumbo, you know, they are the girls that they used to bring to us in those days to dance with. After we have a debate, and after the debate you dance. As they were dancing, I've forgotten the name of the girls' school that they asked to come. I don't know if it is girls from Stella Maris in Igbo. No, I don't think so. It was a girls' school, or was it here? I can't remember. A girls' school was invited from Igbo land to come to Government College to debate, because we debate. You know, at Umuahia, we speak very good English, of course we do. We debate, and after the debate, then you have a dance afterwards. And all the teachers and the principal, they will leave, and the boys will have fun with the girls, just dancing or nothing more. Do you know that they invited a girls' school to Government College Umuahia for a dance? And Ken Serewa went to one of the girls and said to her, "Excuse me, dance, I want to dance with you." And the girl said no. And Ken Serewa immediately thought that the girl said no to him because he is not Igbo. I am giving you factual history. I am sure that Ken Serewa's son, if the father was somebody who, as my father did, to tell you what happened during their time, must have told the children this story. A girl said no, an Igbo girl said no to dance with him. And Ken Serewa muttered to himself because he's Igbo. That's why the Igbo girl did not want to dance with him, because he's Ogoni and the girl is Igbo. Nobody knew that Ken Serewa took that thing away and left Government College Umuahia, became a successful man, and was still harboring that hatred for Igbo people that gave him free education. Allowed him to go to the finest secondary school there is. Ken Serewa had bitterness in him. And during the war, Ken Serewa found an opportunity to revenge, because An Igbo girl refused to dance with him. And he joined the Nigerian army and he served with Abacha. Abacha became his close friend. After the war, Ken Saro-Wiwa wanted, not only did he join Nigeria to fight Biafra, the bitterness was still lingering in him. He went and convinced Abacha that Igbos should be punished further. Abacha asked him, what do you want us to do? Ken Saro-Wiwa told Abacha that all the properties in Igbocha belonging to Igbo people from across Imo River. Listen carefully. Because Obi Igbo, the heart of Igbo nation is in Igbocha. Obi Igbo. That is why they neglected. That is even the reason why Wike neglected it. You must pay attention this morning, please. I beg of you. He said all those across the water, they must lose their properties in Igbocha. And we are going to give it to local people. Those local people, not minding that they're Igbo people, we are going to tell them that they are different. Me, I'm an Ogoni man. We are going to tell Igbo people that they are not Igbo. And because Igbo people from across the water came to Igbocha and became successful, bought land and built houses, we are going to give those houses to Igbo people. And then we tell Igbo that you're not Igbo. Abacha rang Lagos and asked for approval. The approval was given. Because when that suggestion came and was being discussed in Lagos, you know that the British government, they hear everything that you say. They told the British said, okay, very good. That is how we are going to divide them. That is how we are going to deny the Igbo people access to the sea by making sure that the Igbo people that live by the sea see themselves as non-Igbos. A very simple, very clever plan. Because Igbocha seaport is there. And that land is owned by Igbo people. Owned, which is Ikwere, of course, owned by Ikwere people. And because of that, in order to deny the wider body of Igbo nation access to the sea, let us tell those that live by the sea that they are not Igbo. They did the same thing in Opobo. And the British said to go on, you can go ahead, it's a very beautiful plan, it's a very good plan. So they can divide us. So the go-ahead came, and Abacha, who was a very good friend of Ken Saro-Wiwa, said to Ken Saro-Wiwa, you can go ahead and implement this. It's fine. It's a very good idea. Now, but in order to make it work, since it is your idea, you are now going to oversee the whole abandoned property project. Ken Saro-Wiwa spent days and nights touring every community in Igbocha, telling them how they are not Igbo, how Igbo people came and dominated their lives and took over their land and built houses. But meanwhile, he's Ogonio, he's not Igbo, he's not Igbo. He says he's not Igbo. Meanwhile, he doesn't speak Igbo language. The people in Igbocha, they speak Igbo language. They answer Chibike Amechi, which is Igbo. They answer Nyesom Wike, which is Igbo. They answer Odele, which is Igbo. And you know what they call God in Igbocha? Chukwokikabiama. Ikwere call God Chukwokikabiama. I heard it myself. Nobody told me. I was traveling through that area. They told me themselves. Nobody told me. You must pay attention this morning. They said, because wherever a people who are successful are gathered, there's always envy. Ikwere said, okay, from today onwards, we are from Ikwere. We are from Bini. And the Oba of Bini is our brother. We are not Ikwere people. We are not Igbo. Although we speak Igbo, we are Igbo speaking. But we are Ikwere. Yoruba speaking, but I'm not Yoruba. Does that make sense to you? Ken Sarawiwa presided over abandoned property. He was the one, despite benefiting from a scholarship granted to him by an Igbo man, despite going to a very beautiful school in Igbo land, because he could have gone to Opreka Grammar School, he could have gone to Stella Maris in Igbocha, he could have gone to one of those beautiful schools that you had, but he got a scholarship to attend Government College in Omai, Fisher High School, for free. He now came back to wreak revenge because a girl refused to dance with him. Are you listening? Now, you know Igbo man. If something happens in the north, you know, if there's a riot now in the north, and there are two Igbo businessmen, one of them had his house destroyed, his cars burnt, and maybe a part of his business still surviving. He is desperate for cash. The other businessman, who is Igbo, will come to him and not offer to give him a loan to rebuild his business, but will tell him, please, I want to buy you out. So it is in us. The people accepted and took over all the properties belonging to their own flesh and blood from across the Imo River. That's all. If you are on this side of the Imo River, in Obibo side, they let you keep your property. If you're from Ongwa, going all the way to Hamufu, or to Dekem, you lose your property to your own brother in Iguacha that they named Port Harcourt. That was Kensruwa's plan, which the British endorsed, which Gowon executed. And in Lagos, they tried the same thing in some places. As you may recall, when our leader came back, he was fighting for his father's house at Queen's Drive in Ikoyi. I think he got it back eventually. Some people in Yoruba land wanted to play smart. They said, okay, if they are taking their properties in Port Harcourt, we must also take their properties in Lagos. But I want to shock all of you this morning. In the north, where there were predominantly Hausa people, there was no abandoned property. After the war, Igbo people went back to the north, and the Hausa people gave them back the keys to their houses. I want you to pay attention. But in Biafra land, in Igbo land, a particular section of Igbo people, a clan, Ikwere is a clan, the same way Ngwa is a clan, and Ngwa is bigger than Ikwere, the same way that Ogoni is a clan. One clan in Igbo land decided to jettison their identity because of their brother's property. But in Hausa land in the north, Hausa people, because Fulani was busy moving cattle in the bush, Hausa people gave back the keys to Igbo properties back to the owners when they came back after the war. Now the divide and rule has set in. Ken Sarawa was working with Abacha. Very, very well. The same thing now that Wike is doing. Another Ijaw man came into power. I will call him even an Igbo man. because his name is Melford Okilo. Or is it Okilo? Is it Melford? Let me get his full correct name. The MPN governor. They said they will vote MPN, they will not vote for Zeke. All of those, I call them the Gowon created states. You know, Lugard created Nigeria. People that call themselves Nigeria were created by Gowon. The people created by Gowon. Oh dear me. Things are happening. There are so many things you people don't know about the zoo. The reason why we are suffering today was because an Igbo girl refused to dance with Keseriwa. That is why we are saying this rubbish today. That is the genesis of the problem. After all, the man that knew history and told Ojukwu about our name, Biafra, is an Ejo man, Ejo, the same place with the bloated pig, the same place with Ankyo Briggs, the same place with Edwin Clark. The man who said our name is Biafra is not an Igbo man. He's an Ejo man, Ejo. This morning, all of you must pay attention. I don't even know why I'm preaching this very gospel, but I was moved to preach it. Anybody's Rimosi, that I should preach it. Because of Wike, I want our people to get to the root of the problem. Because of Jason Wike, I want our people to be educated this morning. Education. You all must listen carefully, please. The same man that I told you gave me money when I went to his house in London, the former governor of River State, his name is Melford Okilo. Melford Okilo. Now listen very carefully. Melford Okilo and Okiro, the former IG of police, are all Igbo people. I want them to understand this. And I also want you to know, when I told you about Arochukwu and slavery the other day, I want you to know that most of the people who are Ejo today, Ejo, is either your grandfather or your grandmother is from Arochukwu. If you doubt me, go and ask the pig in the creek. Do you have Arochukwu blood in you? Ask Ankyo Briggs. Ankyo Briggs, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? Because you were all sired by our people, captured and taken to the new world as slaves from Arochukwu. Am I lying? Ankyo Briggs, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? The pig in the creek, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? So when people are telling you rubbish, he's done this, he's done this, we are listening, I am asking them, you people you were given birth to by people from Arochukwu, am I lying or not? Yes or no? I want you, some of you with Ankyo Briggs number, go to her page this morning and inbox her. Please, ma'am, do you be respectful, please? Please, ma'am, ma'am is M-A-A-M. Do you have Arochukwu blood in you? Please answer me yes or no. Some of you that read the nonsense from the imbecilic pig in the creek, ask him a simple question. Do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? Go and ask Edwin Clark. Edwin Clark, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? These are simple questions, they're not difficult. Ask them this morning, and you hear what they will tell you. You'll be shocked. These people they are carrying Arochukwu blood in them. Arochukwu, our spiritual capital, Arochukwu blood is in them. But when you see them talk their nonsense, you pity them. Who made it possible? Another Igbo man, Ken Saruwiwa, Ogoni. Ogoni is a clan in Igbo land. You know, we like being autonomous. People may be saying, but why did they say they're not Igbo? Look at my own place. I come from Afaruku. My father was a traditional ruler of Afaruku. After a while, Hoko Bandumuoke said they want to answer Enugu. They want to be autonomous. My father said, okay, no problem, you can go. Before that, the first son of Afaruku is Okulaga. Okulaga is number one. They are the first son of Afaruku, which is the next village, or should I say hamlet, to mine. Okulaga said, we want to be autonomous. And today, Okulaga is an autonomous community inside Afaruku. Maybe in the future, Isiama will also become an autonomous community in Afaruku. Autonomous means leave me alone. The same way that Ogoni is an autonomous clan in Igbo land. Are you listening to me? Somebody who is an Igbo man decided to be autonomous because a girl refused to dance with him. And he took that bitterness to corrupt and poison the minds of other people, like the Ikwere people, to hate themselves. And they think they are going to enjoy life. Of course not. You don't know God in heaven. No, you can't enjoy. They took their brother's properties in Iguacha. Chief Zetsiobi, one of the richest men you had in those days in Iguacha. My own grand uncle, Dudukoro, Chief Alozie. Who doesn't know him? Chief Alozie owns, from Obibo to oil mill on the right. He owns it, Chief Alozie. Who doesn't know him? In Iguacha. Oh dear. Chief Zetsiobi's properties were taken. My uncle's properties were taken. These are one of the richest people that you had. My uncle, De Jacob, studied in America. When he was traveling from Omuahia railway station, when he traveled because he went by ship. He traveled from Omuahia. De Jacob traveled, Jacob Alozie traveled from Omuahia railway station in Ibek, all the way to Iguacha to board a ship to go to the US to study. His father, Chief Alozie, hired one coach for him, an entire train, an entire coach. Only De Jacob was in it with his servants, all the way to Iguacha. When he came back, when De Jacob came back, women removed their wrappers and laid it on the ground for De Jacob to walk from railway all the way to my compound. Chief Alozie, his properties were taken. Those belonging to prominent men like Chief Zetsiobi were also taken in Iguacha. And most of them died because of it. Do you know what Dalozie used to say? Chief Alozie used to say because he was going to court to try to recover his properties. He said if his properties were taken by Hausa people, he would understand. But he cannot believe that people that took his properties are those that answer Ikoku. And his own brother, Dikoku, just lives across from him. People that answer Igbo names in Ikwere land took properties belonging to their fellow brothers. Are you listening? I want to tell you where Nwike is coming from. Ken Sarawiwa did all of these things, and Ogoni land was not developed. You know God is miraculous. That is why they are suffering today. Ogoni land is suffering today because of the betrayal that was brought into our land by Ken Sarawiwa. God is a God of vengeance. And Ogoni land can never be developed unless Biafra comes. They can never. Ogoni can never see development until Biafra comes. Never. After that, after many years, Ken Sarawiwa now discovered, let me take water please. After many years, Ken Saro-Wiwa discovered the grand plan of the Fulani. I want to tell you how miraculous God is. Under the regime of his good friend, Sani Abacha, he started the agitation, the Ogoni Bill of Rights. Abacha called him on the phone. I said, my friend, what are you doing? He said, Ogoniland is not developed. We are marginalized. We are backwards. Abacha said, okay, and put the phone down and ordered for his arrest. He was arrested in Iguacha, put in prison, and tried. Before he was executed, he said he wants to speak to his friend Abacha again. He called Abacha. You know what Abacha said to him? You are fighting me in my administration the same way you fought your brothers, the Igbos. You want to betray me the same way you betrayed the Igbos, but I will teach you a lesson. I will tell you I am not the Igbo people that you betrayed. Abacha gave the order and Ken Saro-Wiwa was hanged. Ask anybody if they keep records of telephone conversations between a president or head of state in Nigeria and people, you will see it there. We have all the information. Ken Saro-Wiwa was broken. Abacha said to him, you betrayed your people. I am your friend. I am the head of state, and you want to betray me, and for that I am going to kill you. And Abacha killed him. Because he betrayed his people. You think the Fulanis are not smart? Or the Janjaweed from the north, you think they're not smart? Once the Akanian word, that's why they can never give him anything. They know he betrayed his people. It was the person that gave the go-ahead for abandoned property to be seized or to come into existence, so to speak. The person that Ken Saro-Wiwa went to and said, my friend, let us take properties from Igbo people in Igbo land. You know, it's an abomination. Before God is an abomination. Go and read your Bible, Old Testament. An abomination before God. To take a property belonging to your brother. Land is an abomination. Is Ogoniland developed today? They are my brothers, yes, and my sisters, yeah. But I tell you the truth. Is Ogoniland developed here? I'm asking you. Edwin Clark, another traitor. Is your land developed? Traitor. Is your land developed? Ogoniland is polluted. They are campaigning all over the world, championing it because of the sins of Ken Saro-Wiwa. Some of them said, oh, we are not Igbo. We are Ogoni people. But how many are you? Where did you come from? Where do you come from? How can you be in the middle of nowhere and say you are a separate nation? And his name is Ken Wiwa. Wa-Iwa. The child of Iwa. Wiwa. They changed it to Wiwa. W-I-W-A. They think we don't know that they're Igbo people. You can be autonomous all you like. Ngwa can wake up tomorrow and say we are autonomous from Igbo. We are not Igbo. We are Ngwa people. Nobody can begrudge them. Now, after successfully dividing our people through Ken Saro-Wiwa and Edwin Clark, a traitor to the core. He's an old man and I wish him more years to live, but I want him to be honest and come out to let him confess. The same thing today that Wike is doing. Wike, the same people that encouraged Ken Saro-Wiwa to divide Igbo land, which is Biafra, they were also the same people that killed him. Did any Igbo man kill Ken Saro-Wiwa? And when our late eternal leader came to London, I said to him, why did you not intervene when they arrested Ken Saro-Wiwa? You could have mobilized the entire Igbo nation, which is Biafra itself, to campaign and to pressure Abacha not to kill your brother, Ken Saro-Wiwa. He said to me that what Ken Saro-Wiwa did was unpardonable, that it was God that punished him, that he was in no place to intervene. Ojukwu told me this in London. There were many of us there. Ojukwu came to London then with Peter Obi, Chekwas Okorie, Victor Ume. Victor Ume then was an ordinary treasurer in Abga. We went to buy them clothes at Oxford Street. Victor Ume, did you come to England with any clothes? Did we not go to buy you clothes, myself and Ifani Negu and Samume? And what's his name? Chinedu. What's Chinedu's surname again? Forgotten. Ask Peter Obi now. Ask him. He will tell you. Was I not the one that paid for Jukwo's accommodation at Millennium Hotel with my credit card? Oh dear. At Kensington, that's where we were. Kensington, London. Chekwas Okorie, we found him accommodation elsewhere, not in the same hotel with our eternal leader. Oh, you people, you have all forgotten. Did I run to Peter Obi and ask him for money when he became governor? Mad people everywhere. As I was saying, Ojukwu said he couldn't have intervened because it was God's will. That the same person, not even people, the individual that Saro-Wiwa went to ask, do I have, please give me permission to take Igbo people's properties in Igbo? Let me convince Igbo that they are not Igbo. The person he went to, the man that gave the permission said, okay, go ahead, was the man that killed him. I want Wike to learn that we have history on our side. You cannot divide our people. You cannot ask a Biafran to go and hunt a Biafran for you. You can't divide us. There was a man that tried to divide us. Today that man is dead. Not by natural causes, killed by the same people that he was seeking to please through the division of the sacred land of Biafra. Wike, you are going to die disgracefully. Anybody who tries to divide a land that God ordained must exist will die a miserable death. Have you asked yourself why Ijaw land is not developed? Why our mothers go to the creek to drink from the same water that they go to toilet in? Have you asked yourself why? You people, you play with God. You don't know Chukwu Okike Abiama. You don't know. Some of you don't know because you're not in the spirit. Ijaw, do you think if you remove yourself from Biafra, you'll be developed? Fulani will swallow you overnight. I want you to understand this. That is why you are not developed and can never be developed in this world. Never, ever, ever. For betraying Biafra. Is Akwa Ibom doing well? Simple question. The reason why Akwa Ibom is doing well is because of Philip Effiong. God had mercy and said, because of Philip Effiong, I will leave you alone. All of you that said, we are not Biafra, I'm not Igbo. Are you doing well today? Are you better off than Anambra, Imo, Abia, Enugu, Ebonyi? Are you better than them? Simple question. You think you can divide the people of God? God will strike you dead. You can. Nobody can do it. No human being can do it. Let me tell you. Your name is Nyesom Wike Waike. Because we are known by who our fathers are. His name is Ken Wewa Nwa Iwa. The same way you have Wachuku, they change it to Wachuku WA. The same family. Wachuku WA. Wike is, they took away the N. Waike, he took away the N. So they will sound, they will say, I'm not Igbo. Waike is his name. He took away the N, took away the A, and said it's Wike, W-I-K-E. The name of the foremost Ogoni freedom fighter is Ken Wa-Iwa. They took away the N, as Wike did, took away the A, it is now Wiwa, W-I-W-A. To hide their Igbo identity. The same thing that Ken Sarawiwa did with the same surname, or should I say with the same alphabets in the surname. Waike is N-W-A-I-K-E. Wenwa is N-W-A-I-W-A. What Ken Sarawiwa did, Wike is now doing. Wike, they took off the N and the A, you now have Wike, W-I-K-E. Wewa took off the N and the A, and is now Wewa, W-I-W-A. And two of them are going to meet the same end. Wike, I am laying a curse on you that you may know that God Almighty sent me. The same way Fulani rejected Ken Sarawiwa at the right time and killed him, so shall they do to you if we don't get you first. Wike, I want you to understand the reason why I hate you now more than anybody else in the world. Do you know why I despise you now? Because you are trying to divide the children of God. Ken Sarawiwa tried it and was killed. Anybody who tries it will die. If you try it, you will die. Ken Sarawiwa is Nwa-Iwa, that's his name. Nwa, N-W-A-I-W-A. Nwa-Iwa, the son of Ewa. They called it Nwe or Wiwa. Nwachuku became Wachuku. People are fools. You see, my people are not well in the brain. You reject a name that God Almighty gave to you in order to please Fulani. Ken Sarawiwa and the Fulani killed him. Wike, you are renaming the name of, as I told you, Okilo, Mefad Okilo. They are the ones Urumu Allah, Urumu Kurushi, Urumu Adolu, Omo Adaolu, the children of the only surviving daughter. When they came from Arochukwu, they took everybody into slavery. Only one woman survived. Only one survived. And she gave birth to children. They named the place Omo Adaolu, the children of the only daughter. The land of God. And you idiots want to divide it. The land of God itself. You want to divide the children of God to allow uncircumcised vandals to come in to possess a land that God gave to our ancestors. Omo Adaolu, the children of the only surviving daughter. Adaolu, the only daughter they had. Why do you think I said that Iguacha will be the capital of Biafra land? But of course now Igbo is making a very strong case for it. Did we ever know that Igbo land started from that even Benin City itself? We never knew. Because God said, I will, when the time comes, if you come back to me after our 2015 atonement prayer, if you abandon every other God, including the one the white man brought to you, and face me, and only me, then unubomu Chineke, Nwachukwu. Nobody answers why Jesus, where we come from. Do you answer why Jesus? I'm asking you a question. Or one Muhammad. Is that your name? Is your name one Muhammad or one Jesus? You answer Nwachukwu, the Son of God of heaven and earth. This is maybe. In 2015, I prayed, and I'll release that very clip today. Listen to it. All of you claiming you're from Niger Delta, listen to that. God said, anytime you come back to me, I will bring all of you back together again from where you come from, including Igodo land. I will teach you in the spirit the history of Oba and Idu. That place is Idu land. Idu land. They call it Idu. Ubiaja, they call Eshan. Igbo people. I-G-B-O. Igbo. Why haven't you thought about this before? They divide you to conquer you. When Kesrewa thought that he was doing that thing, they became autonomous, and he was the most educated man there, they became autonomous. He never told Ogoni people. I went to school with Igbo people. If at all he claims he's not Igbo anymore. The scholarship that I went to school with was given to me by an Igbo man. Are you listening? Oh dear. Who built Iguacha? I want people to go and... Do you know that Shell was in Owerri? Shell was in Owerri. And the Igbo, they had sense in those days, intelligent men. Hey! May Elohim bless them. Igbo State Union. Before the war, they were an authority unto themselves. You will pack your bags from Omuahia, you travel to Zaria. Upon getting to Zaria, you speak Igbo. Our star will take you to an Igbo man's house, and they will take you to their chairman, and they will give you where to sleep. And by the next day, you start work. When I think of Igbo land before the war, tears come to my eyes, I'm telling you. The mere fact that you are in Bauchi and you speak Igbo, every Igbo person around there is your brother and your sister. If they're older than you, they are your uncles. You call them dead. If they are the age of your father, you call them father. Let me tell you what happened in America. I was in the U.S. I think it was early this year or was it last year? I can't remember. It was early this year. I was in the U.S. I was in a town hall meeting in Chicago. And the girl came to me, we were taking pictures. And the girl came to me and said, and I said to them, why don't you marry each other in America? Why don't you organize a ball once you leave college? They organize a ball for all of you Biafran people to meet together, and then your sons will meet your daughters and you can intermarry. One of them came to me and said to me, she didn't know when she said to me, uncle, do you know the problem we had? Why we never intermarried or married each other? And I said no. She said to me, because when we were growing up, our parents will introduce the fathers and the mothers of the people we are supposed to marry as our uncles and our aunties. Do you understand? You know the way we are. In England, once you speak Igbo, Tunnameka and then Nabikem, this is your uncle. That's where we are. And we didn't know that these kids, they had it in their brain. I cannot go and date the child of my uncle or my aunt. Although they're not from the same village. And so she said to me that the problem is from our parents. They introduced us to everybody as our uncle and our aunt. And I said to her, that is how we are as a people. If I leave Omuahia and I travel to Ngwaland in Aba, every Omuahia person is my brother and my sister. Now, if I leave Ngwao and I travel to, say, Ondo State, every Igbo person in Ondo State is my brother and my sister and my uncle and my father and my mother. That is where we are as a people. It doesn't mean you cannot marry them. She was shocked. And yes, that is what we do. If you see somebody in those, I remember my own aunt, Doka Mother, married in Mbise, when my younger brother was born. My own aunt, my father's immediate younger sister. When I said I was in Aba, I was with her when I was going to primary school in Aba. Helen is her name. My aunt. My aunt will say to me, please, we were staying at Abai Omocham then. I went to go and see them from government college. I went to on a weekend. She said to me, take this thing and go and give to my sister. And I asked her, who is that your sister? She said, that's Ubakala woman there. Ubakala is not Ibeku. I don't know who the woman is. But because she is from Omuahia, living in Aba, she became my aunt automatically. And in America, they are saying, how can I then go and marry my aunt's child? That means that boy is my relative. So they saw all of that. The reason why we don't intermarry in America or marry each other as much as we should is because we see everybody as one family. This is what Wike is trying to bring division into. This was what Ken Saro-Wiwa tried and failed and lost his life in the process. Have you seen Jews? Anywhere you go to, they say, oh, they cooperate, they're always together, they live together, they do this together. And the only thing is that they marry one another. We don't. We do not marry one another. We don't marry each other. We need to marry each other. We need to marry each other more. Do you know Margaret Ekpo, where she comes from? The one that they named Calabar Airport after. Margaret Ekpo is from Nnewi, where she married a man, an Efik man. Ekpo. Are you aware of that? The regard I have for P2B is because the wife is from Cross River State. We need to intermarry more. We are all one people. It's just like somebody from Samaria marrying somebody from Judea. The language may be different. Some of you do not know that in Israel you have many languages. Do you know that? The same way you have Ogoni in our, you have his own Kolokoma, as they say, you have a Fik language, you have a Bibio. Do you know that even in Israel, one people created, they all descended from Jacob. They have now, listen, people don't know anything. Oh. They have Hebrew. They have Yiddish. Are you aware of that? There's a language called Yiddish. They have the Hebrew language. They have Yiddish. And for some of you saying, oh, but Igodomigodo, in Benin, they speak a different language. Now let me shock you. I want to surprise all of you. Do you know that Hebrew language is new? It was written by one man. I've forgotten his name. Go and Google it. Hebrew language was written to unite all the dialects of the ancient tribes of Israel. Do you know that in those days, somebody who is from Judea spoke a different language from somebody who is from Samaria? Are you aware of that? But they are all Israelites. Are you aware? Are you aware? I'm asking you. So having different languages, maybe from Benin to Ogoja, from Ogoja to Oron, doesn't mean you are not one people. That was why a man, let me actually Google it, how the history of the Hebrew language. Because there is a language also called Aramaic that they spoke when Jesus was on earth. Aramaic, they have Hebrew, they have Yiddish. Let me see if I can actually do it myself. Whilst we are still, I don't know what came over me this morning to preach this gospel. I have no idea. It's wicked, and because of what Chibi Kameji said. You are not pursuing Fulani killers and headsmen. You are pursuing your own brothers, that the Fulani headsmen may kill them. Let me try and see if I can get it. The history of the Hebrew language. People don't know anything. The history of Hebrew language. Hebrew language. Yes, I think the man's name is Angel Sainz Badilos. Let me also check, please, to make sure that a man created it, joining all the languages. Of course, a history of the Hebrew language is a comprehensive description of Hebrew from its Semitic origins and the earliest settlement of Israelite tribes in Canaan to the present day. What the man did was to bring all, his name is Angel Sainz Badilos, I think it is, a history of the Hebrew language. Go and read it up. You will see it. One man created it. One man created the Hebrew language. What he did is to avoid trouble. Somebody was asking me, if you get Biafra, what language are you going to speak? And I said, when we get Biafra, we are going to get a panel of linguists from every clan, from every tribe, from every dialect. They will sit down, we lock them up somewhere until they produce a lingua franca. The same way the Hebrew language was produced, to cater for everybody that sees himself as a Jew, as an Israelite. Do you see how what Ugo Kikabiama is doing? Replicating what has gone before in our present time. Wike, for attempting to divide the house of God, you will die disgracefully. I lay a curse on you today. You will die shamefully and disgracefully. You are from Satan. You are from darkness. You can say anything you like about us. You can even condemn us. That was why I warned Umahi. Umahi tried to bring this, the same nonsense Umahi tried to do in Ebonyi State. Tried to tell me Ebonyi State is not Biafra, Ebonyi State is not Igbo. What have you people done for us? That idiot did not know about a man called Dr. Kanu Ibiam from Ebonyi State. A pillar. A man of great honor. May his soul continue to rest in power. A man of immense honor from Ebonyi State. A great scholar. Him and John Lennon were the people that returned their whatever rubbish from the Queen of England because of the war, because of how Britain treated Biafra from Ebonyi State. And I asked Umahi this morning, go and read the history of Dr. Kanu Ibiam and emulate him. That one day we are all going to die. One day when you leave, people will sing your praises the same way we are singing the praises of Kanu Ibiam today. It's from Ebonyi State. But you see Wike. Wike is a dead man walking. Dead man walking. I didn't want to teach this history today. But you see that Asian here in the creek. With Arochukwu blood in him. Arochukwu. He doesn't know the meaning of the word Arochukwu. The children of God, the worshippers of God, the house of Levi that we have. Those created to worship God. Arochukwu. You have the blood of Arochukwu in you. Ankyo Briggs, you have the blood of Arochukwu in you, the children of God. And you're telling me I'm ladhood like garbage. Anyway, you are imbecilic. What do you know? Ask them all. Hey, we don't want Biafra. This is your Biafra. Ask them, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? If you doubt me, we do a DNA sequencing. We see if you and I share the same ancestry or not. Mad people. You think that different language means you're a different person. Stupid fools who don't read history. People who are badly educated. In Israel, in the land of God, there's Aramaic, there's Hebrew, there's Yiddish, and in fact, let me ask them how many ancient languages did they speak in Israel? How many? Google it. How many Semitic languages did they speak in Israel? People don't know anything. Then you want to come and debate people who are learned. How many Semitic languages are there in Israel? Did they speak in Israel? Mad people everywhere. Ndiara. When they think I will just come out one day and start saying what we do not know. What we do not know. How many languages are there? I ask you. In the Levant region, that is the name is Levant. Levant, not Middle East. You know Britain? It was Britain that named them Middle East. And Asia, they named them Far East. So you not know your history. Once they use that layer to cover you, River State, your history is forgotten. You no longer know who you are. Your name is Igwacha. And the name you're answering is the name that is cursed. Port Harcourt is a cursed name. Cursed name. If you do not know. That is why there can be no development in Nepal. Go to Bayelsa. Is there any development? Apart from what the last governor did or tried to do, is there any development? Are people meaningfully employed? The answer is no. We cannot allow anybody to divide us. We are the children of the Most High. I'm very, very sorry. I wanted to analyze a lot of news items we are seeing today, and I'll just go through them very briefly, please. But if Chibika Meji can be talking sense, I hope he's not playing politics. So, if he's talking sense, asking for the unity of the South and Southeast, saying we can leave IPOB, and what have you done for Obibo? I don't know. We watch and we wait. And we see. The army. Do you know? I can't. The army is denying shooting people at Lekki. They are now saying that Sanwo-Olu did it. Zoological Republic, the zoo. All in an effort. Tinubu went to Sanwo-Olu to say, my boy, I put you in government house. You have to take the fall. That was what Ambode refused to do. That was why they removed him. My boy, I want to be the president of Nigeria in 2023. You have to accept, please, that you ordered the shooting. And that you also gave the order for the cameras to be removed from the toll gate. Once you agree, I will look after you. Don't worry. You may be held responsible now. But later, when I become the president, I'll take care of you. That's what they're now negotiating. That was why the army came out to say it was Sanwo-Olu that actually did the shooting and not them. Because you know, if you say it was the army that did the shooting, you know the order came from Tinubu because he is the national leader of APC. And they said the zoo have started now to pay 30, or they are claiming to be paying 30,000 naira. What is 30,000 naira? Maybe a bag of rice and 1 carton of Indomie and a carton of tomatoes if you're lucky. And then maybe a basket of onions. You eat that for maybe about 2-3 weeks and you're hungry once again. They are paying you instead of them to create an enabling environment for the economy to thrive so you can be meaningfully employed and earn a decent wage, Alamajuri style, Rankadede. They are paying you 30,000 like amnesty. So you go and be doing Rankadede. Please give us 30,000 now. Please. And as the Southeast governors and South governors are faffing about and fooling about, Amoteku is recruiting a more 1,500 personnel. And Yoruba land is developed, relatively speaking, of course, compared to the others. They damn the Fulani Janjaweed and do what they want to do to secure their land. Do you understand that now? They think the protests have ended, they are mad. We are entering into a new phase of a proper revolution. When these children pour out on the streets again, politicians, you better run. Because they are coming. And for those of you in the army wishing to join young Nigerian youths, leave the army, the number is there, call it and leave the army and come and join Nigerian youths to create a new society. Now is the time. Now is the time. Makinde orders recruitment of 1,500 officers to kickstart Amoteku in his own state. The governors in the east are busy inviting the army to come. Do you know it's the governors that pay for the army, that paid for the army to come during Operation Patton Dance 1, 2, 3, and 4? Are you aware of that? If you are a governor, you pay for the army, you rent army to come. Compared to Yoruba governors. Yoruba governors are recruiting their own people to provide security in Yoruba land. Igbo governors are busy inviting Fulani killers from Gambia, from Mali, with police uniform to come to their land to kill their own people. And you say we shouldn't hate them. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. The revolution is coming and nobody can stop it. You know the number to call if you are in the army and you want to leave the army to come and join the people. Somebody said we should add the police. And another person said no, they start taking bribe from those who are coming to serve. They would be there saying, no, pay us bribe before we accept you. They'll be collecting money. So they said we shouldn't add the police. Because the police is irredeemably corrupt. Police, hey, they'll become informants for the zoo. For the zoo. They'll become informants for the zoo. The salary of a senator in Nigeria is over 1 million naira every blessed day. And what do they do? Nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And that is why the zoo must fall. I thank you all very much for listening this morning. But let me see if I can take some of your calls. The only call we can take today is via Signal. And the number to call is Signal. It's an app. Download the Signal. It's the best. It's clearer and it's safer. +44 7761 825 346. I repeat, +44 7761 82 5346. That is the number to call. That is the number to call. They said there's a security alert somewhere. Nigeria Army has blocked the road again by Yam Zone, and they're stopping every vehicle and picking up every person there. They only allow the women to continue. Is okay, and is people aware of this? Is okay, are aware of what the army is doing in Aba? And why are you writing to me? We outnumber them. You kill them. Attack them and kill them. Because they take these people and they go and kill them somewhere else and hide their bodies. Attack them before they attack you. You people are foolish. You keep writing rubbish to me. Attack them. Yeah, at Yam. Kill them there. Kill them. Let them die. You allow them, they set up roadblock, and they're taking you and you start talking rubbish and writing nonsense to me. The caller on signal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What is your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Anna Chuku Anoche. I was the one that called 2 days ago that quoted the Bible, Isaiah 43 verse 6.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yes, okay, sir. Now I want to just put some things I got to. I found out that there are some things I noticed I want to get your attention to.
Yes.
It's about the engineers of your station. If they can try to always put off the mic when you finish your broadcast and after our Biafra national anthem, if they just put it off, because sometimes I notice that some background, I heard some noise in background, so that we don't put out some information that is not necessary to go out. Immediately the broadcast you finish, and after the national anthem, immediately to at least 2 seconds to just put it off. I noticed that, so I just wanted to bring your attention to that, to your engineers.
Thank you very much. And we have noted that. Thank you very, very much. I was writing it down.
I have some other things to.
Please go ahead.
Permit me, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is about security, but it's not like it's it should be a public information, but it's about security. And this goes to everybody all around the world. It doesn't matter where you are. For monitoring, so people that now the telephones that are being monitored, there is a code. It's a factory settings code. It's just for any phone. It doesn't matter where you are, and it don't have to be in Nigeria. Anywhere in the world. If you permit me, I can release the code.
Release it. Release it. Of course, release it.
Very good. Thank you, sir. The code is, if you're listening, whatever phone you're using, you just dial it. Go to your dial, put hash. You just put star hash 51 hash, and then you send it. This is to confirm if your telephone calls is being forwarded, that is being monitored and being listened to. If you confirm it, this is the number the code to confirm it. You just check it like star hash 61 hash and then send. It will show a message on your front screen and tell you if your phone is being monitored or is being listened to. And
what I'm doing it now. You say is star hash 61 hash. Then send. I'm sending it now. Let me see what happens. MMI code started. It says call forwarding when no reply. Your voice, my phone is not being tapped now. My voice is not being forwarded. My data is not being forwarded. My fax is not forwarded. My SMS is not forwarded. My sync is not forwarded. My async is not forwarded. My packet is not forwarded. The pad is not forwarded, which means this very phone I'm using is not being hacked. Nobody is listening to it. You're correct. If you do it, if you put it in your phone, everybody, those of you in Biafra land, please do this. Star hash 61 hash. A message pops up. Anything here that is forwarded elsewhere, please discard that phone and go and get a new phone. They have your IMEI number. They track you through IMEI. Before they arrest you in the zoo, they track you through the IMEI number. Any phone that has IMEI number is trackable. And how do you stop them from tracking you? Ask yourself, how can I stop the zoo from tracking me? The only way you can stop them from tracking you is not to make a call over your phone. That is number one. And number two, please, once you get a phone, make sure that your WhatsApp and your Signal number is not the same number as the SIM card inside your phone. Make sure it is not the same SIM card. Let's say that your number ends with +234 946 871 420, for instance. That is the SIM card you are using to buy data. There's one in your phone. Your WhatsApp number must not be this number. It should be another number. You can get and make sure that the number, the SIM card you're using inside your phone, as much as possible, try to make it not to be your own. Don't register it in your name. And make sure that the other number that you're also using as your WhatsApp is not registered in your name. Some of you can do exchanges. Swap it around so that the number of your WhatsApp, the number of your Signal is not the same number that you have inside your phone. If you make calls via your phone and you call direct, you dial direct to speak to somebody, they will track you using the IMEI number of your phone, which is the unique number to every mobile phone in the world. But if you resist the temptation of calling direct and call only via social media, and especially not Skype, Skype is not encrypted. You have to call through Signal, Telegram, and WhatsApp. Only use those for your calls. Once you do it, you have bypassed them. They can no longer track you. They can no longer come to your house to arrest you, because they only come to your house to arrest you because once an informant gives them your number, say if you call this number, you will get to Okechukwu. What they do is that they put that in their computer, in their laptop, and they now start looking for the nearest tower to that very person. Once they find the tower, they can now narrow down to your house and they arrest you. But if they only have your WhatsApp line, and that WhatsApp line is not in a SIM card in any phone anywhere, they can never ever get you, not in a trillion years. If somebody asks you, oh please can I call you, give me your number. You give them your WhatsApp number, you give them your Signal number, you give them your Telegram number, which is not the same number on your phone. And your Signal number, your WhatsApp number, your Telegram number can be the same number. It doesn't matter. It can be the same number. That is how you minimize tracking, and that is how you minimize them coming to arrest you in the middle of the night. And if you see the army arresting anybody, you raise the alarm, block the road so they cannot leave that day. Now you say that Yam Junction arresting innocent young people, block every exit, block it and start shouting that they must bring them down. They'll release them. But if they take them and you keep quiet, they will continue. So you don't know? Stop writing rubbish to me. You see them arresting people, you attack them to make them to stop. And I don't want anybody to be arrested from Yam Zone today. Go there, please, and make sure that those people are released. Attack them and kill them. And if they do not release them, start the burning of police stations again. Start it. That's the language to understand. Chinedu, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning, Mazi.
Good morning to you. And where are you calling from?
I am calling from Iguacha.
What is happening there today? What is happening there today?
Mazi, there was a little rainfall, and we are okay. We are okay here. I want to comment on the lecture you just gave to us now. I am very, very happy. We keep straightening you for the enlightenment and for the good things you've been doing for us.
Yes,
I thought that the only people that are illiterate are those that did not go to school. But I just came. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Listen,
I thought that the illiterates we have in Nigeria, I thought they are the only ones that didn't go to school. But I didn't know that Nigeria, nothing much. We are okay here.
No, you are listening. How can you be responding to me via the radio? You are listening to me. I'm talking to you on the phone, and you're getting your responses from the radio. That is why you lost concentration. I would have loved to hear what you have to say. But next time, please, try to focus and try to concentrate. People are saying, what is the number? Let me please write it down. You're listening. Not when you're listening on Facebook. You have heard it before, and you're asking for the same number again. I'll give it to you. Put in star. If you want to know if the DSS is tracking your phone, put in star, put in hash, write 61, and then put in hash again. You click send, and a message will appear on your phone if any of the things are forwarded. If they forward anything from your phone without your knowledge or notice, then you know you are in trouble. Pastor Jack, who gives us regular updates, is calling from Lagos. The world is listening. You may proceed.
Thank you, my leader. Good morning from here, my leader.
Good morning.
Pastor Jack, once again coming from Lagos. Although so far as of today, Lagos is calm, people are not yet out for protest. I believe there is strategizing because yesterday there were certain arrangements to hit the road today, but that arrangement did not manifest very well. That was why people were not yet on the road today. Having said that, I just wanted to contribute a little bit to the issue of this hacking. Somebody can, if you want to make use of one number, both on your WhatsApp, and they also want to make use of it as a regular line. What you do, you use ordinary phone that is not WhatsApp enabled, or that does not have GPS, or that does not have internet enabled. So when you insert it in that smaller phone, they cannot be able to track you no matter what they do. You can also make use of
but that phone, when you remove the battery from that phone and you look at the panel where you have the serial number, you will see the IMEI number. You will see the IMEI number, which is the IMEI. No, listen to me. IMEI. That is what other people did. People say, oh, go and buy a Oka phone. They won't track you. Any phone that has IMEI number, they will find you. They will ping, because whenever you make a call, it bounces off the nearest tower. They will ping you, and they will get the tower the signal is coming from, and they will get you. Why do you think that top terrorists do not use phone? They send people to go and deliver messages. They use couriers to deliver the messages. Because any phone you use there is only one phone that has no IMEI number. And the World Intelligence Agencies pressured Nokia to stop producing it. You know that old Nokia it's called 310, or is it 330? I don't know what it's called. You know, 3310. Nokia 3310 is the only phone in the world that cannot be tracked. Nokia, only if you are using Nokia 3310, that old Nokia, you can make as many calls as possible. They do not have your email number, and they cannot track you and locate your precise location or find you where you are. Anything else, once you open the battery on the phone or any phone you have, there is an IMEI number. And once they have it, you're a gunner. They will get you. Please, don't even risk it. Go on social media. Only use WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram to call. Go ahead.
All right, sir. Another one is on the issue of Yeso Wike playing the Janjaweed slave card. Now, Yeso Wike trying to convince people that Igbocha is not Biafra, or where I listened to his comment where he gathered the youth was saying, we allow Igbo, we allow Hausa, and all that. I said, what? What is this man talking about? How stupid? Who are you trying to deceive that Igbocha is not Igbo, not part of Biafra? In fact, from where I come from, mainly in Ohaji, the same dialect I speak is the same language Apani speak, the same language Omerelu speak, down to Elele. So what are you saying? And all these people we are separated down to Igbocha, and we are telling us that Igbocha people are not Igbo or not Biafra. What are you talking about?
You are from Ohaji. Do you know that some people from Ohaji were carved by one Fulani woman into Niger Delta? The same Ohaji is in Niger Delta.
Yeah.
Mad people everywhere.
We speak the same language, and they are talking rubbish. Who are they trying to deceive? All of us speak the same language, and they are telling us Igbocha is different from Igbo for Biafra. You are just deceiving yourself, because we understand the history and we know the history. The agenda, we can just use it for once, but we understand at a given time, your name will also cease to exist. This is just my little contribution this morning, my leader. Thank you from here, sir.
Thank you, and well spoken. You have Ohaji people in River State, Ebema people in River State, and you say, Chineke, what type of God made these people? What type of God made them? Please, if you have called before, do not call again. And I need video evidence of the onions market, the harassment going on at onions market. I need confirmation, and I need video evidence, please. If it's actually going on, do not allow them to leave that very place. And Abia will burn today if they try that rubbish. Mad people everywhere. Tell the idiots to go back and sit down. We are not criminals. We can police our land. Tell them to remain in the barracks, or better still, go and fight Boko Haram, Fulani Janjaweedism in the north. There are many Fulani terrorist groups in the north. They should go and fight them. They should go and fight them. The caller on signal, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Yeah, I called back. I'm Anna Yochukwu.
Yes, go ahead.
One of the local government, the one that is calling from Romania.
Go ahead.
Yes, I gave the code, but I didn't, the phone cut off. I don't know what happened. I thought it was from the network. I didn't give the deactivation code. There is the deactivation code.
What is the deactivation code?
Yes, sir. The deactivation code is #002#. I repeat, if you want to confirm it, you confirm it with star, like you said to them, *61#. So now if you found out that, it doesn't matter, you have to deactivate it. If you found out that it is or is not, put to deactivate it, to be very sure, put #002#. This is how you deactivate it. And this goes to everybody, no matter where you are. Mostly diaspora, Nigeria, where you are, is very good, it's very important. You deactivate it and then nobody listens. And you should be doing this at least every 2 weeks. At least every 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
I want to say something else.
Go ahead.
Can I please?
Very briefly. Others are waiting. Very briefly. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, immediately. I want to say to all the celebrities, please, every celebrity that are doing work, we appreciate what you're doing. Nobody is trying to take your glory. We are fighting for one cause. Now, peaceful, tell your fans, your supporters, you people, gather them, you people will keep protesting. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. I want to give credit to Mr. Sean Kuti. He's doing a great job. He's not standing down.
He's like his father. He is like his father. His father. That is how you know those who are fathered by Janjaweed. If you want to know those, go and look at the children of Fela and Nikolako Kuti. The way they speak like their father. Anybody who knows my father will know that despite every attempt to bribe him in this world, to convince him to abandon truth, he never capitulated. Go and ask all Joseph Kalan, he will tell you. That is, if you are an honest man, you will give birth to an honest child. That is, only if your wife goes outside and gets pregnant and come back and says the child is yours. That is the only reason why a child will behave differently from the father. It's as simple as that. Fela's children are behaving like their father. Upright, very bold, and in your face and telling you the truth. But look at the rest talking rubbish. Go and check their father. Like Nyanwood's father was a traitor. They had money in Barclays Bank. After the war, every family was given £20 to start life again. The Nwodo family got all their money back. That is to tell you who they are. The father was a traitor. And then Nyanwodo himself is a traitor. That is something you must know. Thank you very much.
Sir, I want, please, sir, the last one is very important. Please, sir, I'm sorry. Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, please, there is this question I've wondered so much all my life. And I know you are the only man I know in this world that has intelligence and wisdom at the same time. I would like you to answer it for me, sir. I wonder why when the British came, why they persuaded us through Anglican and gave us the Bible, why they already knew that we are the children of God. They knew that, they know. And they persuaded us and they gave us the Bible. Why they did not do the same to the Northerners? I want to know, sir, please, if you can educate us on that. Because they know that we would not accept Islam, that's number one. And number two is because they knew that if you go through the Old Testament, most of the things in the Old Testament is what we do on a day-to-day basis. So it was easier to convince us. When they went to the north, the emirs told them, you are not going to touch our religion and our way of life. We don't want to go to school. We don't want to go to your school. That's why you have Boko Haram, which is a rejection of Western education. The northerners said to them, the oligarchy, the emir said, the only people who can have education is our own children. That was why the likes of Ahmadu Bello went to school, but other people did not.
and they said, you cannot touch our religion. Those two things were very, very paramount. They reached a deal, and the Northerners said, we will not fight you. If you don't force us to go to school, and you don't tamper with our religion, we are not going to fight you. You can take over. That was indirect rule. You can take over and rule us, and then we rule the people on your behalf. That was what happened. And let me tell people something. I'm coming. Hold on a second. Let me tell people what they do not understand. The white man, in the main, is a racist pig. Now listen to me. They are racist. And when they went to Israel, the Knights Templars went to Israel. After all, there was the Kingdom of Jerusalem that they're not paying attention. There is a place called, go and Google it, the Kingdom of Jerusalem. The Christians, but I respect Europeans. Child, my goodness. I respect them. And I will tell you why I do respect them. Look at the map of Europe. And look at where the Holy Land is, Israel is. Do you know that when the news of the work that Jesus Christ is doing got into Europe, when Emperor Constantine became converted into Christianity, Europeans were in their homes. Do you see why God blessed them? Even if they're not worshiping God the right way, I want to let you understand why they are blessed by God. They had this very gospel that Yeshua was preaching. They are in Europe. And at a time, they also heard that Muslims had taken over Jerusalem. Do you know what they did? Oh, those people, the Europeans. I know, I'm not going to give you their secret, I know it. And when Biafra comes, you see what shall become of Biafra. Do you know what they organized their armies? Volunteers. They asked for, they said that the house of God has been taken over by Muslims. They rallied all over Europe. All noble men, even kings, brought out their children to go to liberate Jerusalem. They know that Israel was surrounded by Muslims everywhere, from Lebanon all the way to Egypt. Israel is somewhere in the middle, not minding that all these brave, noble men, young men, some of them took their wives with them. They embarked on a march to liberate Jerusalem. And as soon as they did it, God blessed Europe in such a way that it is astonishing. That is why they lead the whole world in everything. Every other person, even China, the technology that China has today, they copy from the West. They copy from Europe and from USA, from Canada. That was why God blessed them, and I want you to understand this. When they heard that the house of God has been taken over by Muslims, they said it can never happen. They organized themselves, and let me shock you, they did not use the ship. They trekked. They used their legs, those that came from Scotland, those that came from England. They converged in France, and they started to make their, led by a French royal, noble family, not royal, noble family of France, from where King Bedouin came from. Go and watch the movie Kingdom of Heaven. It is a bit distorted. It's not true, but it's a bit true. Just go and watch it. You know what they did, these people? They used their legs. They walked all the way. They trekked across Europe all the way from France to Turkey. They fought in Turkey. They were killed. Oh, those people are brave. Europeans are brave. I'm telling you. They fought in Turkey. Tried to liberate Constantinople. That was under siege. They fought and they fought and they fought the sultans. They fought them until they reached a truce. Despite the fact that many of them were killed, more reinforcements were coming. If you ask them where they are going, they say they are going to liberate Jerusalem, the city of God. And they are not Jews. They are not Israelites. These are ordinary Caucasian Europeans. Most of them are uncircumcised. But they received the gospel of Yeshua. Because St. Paul said to them, you don't have to be circumcised to be accepted as a child of God through the grace of Jesus Christ. That was where Apostle Paul messed up completely. He messed up totally. Whereas God said it is compulsory for you to be my child, you must be circumcised. Paul said no. By the grace, you don't need circumcision to be a good person. By the grace of Jesus Christ, you can be accepted into the body of Christ, not of God. And then through Christ, you can now come to God. But the traditionalists, like some of us, are saying, no, you must be circumcised. That is an order from God. On the 8th day, you must circumcise your child. Even if you don't do it on the 8th day, if you want to come close to God, you must be circumcised. Apostle Paul said something different. So the Europeans bought into what Apostle Paul said. So most of them that went were not circumcised even. But they still had God in their heart. They said, Apostle Paul said to them, you are circumcised in the heart. You don't need physical manifestation of the circumcision to be a child of God. And they set out to go to Jerusalem. And they were fighting wars. You know the funniest thing? As they die, as they are going, as we are dying today, as we are protesting, as they die, as they are going, many more people are joining them. Many more are joining them. They fought all the way from Turkey, Anatolia. They fought all the way from Anatolia. They fought through Lebanon. They fought through parts of Syria. These are Europeans, though. Some from Scotland, some from England, some from Wales, some from Ireland. Noble children of noble men and women. These are the crowned heads of Europe, sending their children to do what they felt was the will of God. And they came into Jerusalem. And they drove away the Arabs from Jerusalem. And they started the kingdom of Jerusalem under a French noble family that now became the king of Jerusalem, Bedouin. Go and read it up. And they held Jerusalem for over 100 years until the armies of Salahuddin, who is a Muslim, but he is from Kurdistan. Salahuddin is from Kurdistan, the Kurdish part of Iraq, the most celebrated Muslim Islamic general of all time. The most celebrated. But he was a nobleman. He was a pious man, a noble man. He was also a very kind man as well. He defeated the armies of Guy de Lusignan, who took over the kingdom of Jerusalem as the king by marrying the sister of King Bedouin. I think the second or the third, Isabella. He was a drunkard. He desecrated the house of God and broke the agreement between King Baldwin and Salahuddin. And they lost Jerusalem. Richard the Lionheart, the King of England, conducted crusade after crusade to recapture Jerusalem. But he failed. They only managed to take Acre, a place called, that's how you get an acre of land. That was where the measurement acre came from. A-C-R-E, an acre of land. There is a place in the Holy Land called Acre. The English king, Richard the Lionheart, took it from the Muslims. They fought and fought and fought to enter into Jerusalem. It was not possible. God saw the heart of a white man from Europe and said, your heart is clean. Although you were a bit messed up in the head, you love me, and I will give you everything you want. That's how God is. Every glory he gave to Europe. That is why Europe is ruling you today. That is why there is a white woman in Abuja called Katrina Lang who is ruling 200 million black people. It's the grace of God upon white people over black people, because they risked and sacrificed their sons in order to reclaim Jerusalem for the glory of God and drive away Muslims. And now let me tell you something that happened as well. Because Salahuddin marched an Islamic army into the Holy Land of God. Now listen very carefully. Because he marched an Islamic army into the house of God, they went to the Temple of Solomon, rebuilt by King Herod, and they placed Islamic symbols inside the Temple of Solomon. God placed a curse on the people from which Salahuddin came from, Kurdistan. That is why today Kurdistan can never be a country forever and ever. They are divided into Turkey, into Syria, into Iraq, and also Iran. Together they are a very big nation. But divided they are nothing and they are very weak. That was the curse that God placed upon Salahuddin, forever taking over Jerusalem. Now you understand. Let us go to the line. The same way that God cursed Ogoniland because of Kenserewiwa for bringing division amongst his people. That is how God is. That is how Elohim works. Because Europe got up and said, it is an affront that the house of God, this gospel we've been hearing, that Muslims came there. They sacrificed their sons and marched with leg, not sheep, with leg, all the way from France and Italy. Every European nation gave their sons, royalty, their noble sons, to go and fight. That was how the Knights Templars came about. The order of the Temple of Solomon. The Knights Templars. They bank you. Some of you will go to ATM today to go and withdraw money. They were the people that started banking. These are royalties, noblemen from Europe. They rescued the Temple of Solomon from the Islamic hordes. And God blessed Europe because of that. Elohim blessed them. So when you wonder, they are here, they conquer. When a white man now comes to your village, if he tells you to do anything, all of you will bow down immediately. Because the grace of God is upon white people. They sacrificed their sons to rescue Jerusalem from the Arabs. Now you understand, don't you? So in case you're wondering, why, you know that God looks into the hearts of men. The way Europe, if you go to Europe, ask anybody living in Europe, every mile is a church or a cathedral. And when you see the building, you marvel. Come to Africa. People now worship God inside the poultry. They drive the chicken to one side. They bring up a table and they build a pulpit and they're talking rubbish. Is there any magnificent church that you have in Africa apart from the one built in Ivory Coast by Hofert Burney? Only one church stands out in all of Africa. A replica of St. Paul's Basilica in the capital of Côte d'Ivoire. Am I lying? If you come to your village, you see somebody going to a backyard with zinc, and they say they're praising God. They say that God said he doesn't dwell in buildings, talking rubbish. Go to Europe that is blessed by God. When you go to Notre Dame, you open your mouth and you're blown away. You go to St. Paul's Cathedral, the same thing. You go to New York. What is that Roman Catholic cathedral in New York? I've forgotten. I think it's Cathedral of All Saints. I don't know. You marvel. You go to the Coptic church, you marvel. You go to the Ethiopian church and you marvel. You come to West Africa and they're talking rubbish. Every idiot. They go to where if you run out of money, you drive away your goat and use the house of the goat. You say it is a house of God. Jesus is deliverance ministry. And I think God will love you. You're a hypocrite. You're a criminal. When you go to Europe that used to love God, you see the houses they built to God. Then you will know that they were genuine in their hearts. Because they said cleanliness is next to godliness. They made sure that the houses they built to God was pristine, very clean and neat. These are the things you need to know. And we have come to the end of our program this very morning. Fridays is our question and answer sessions, please. And then you should be able to call and we should take your calls and answer your questions as well. But not stupid ones like give us guns, give us this. In a revolution, nobody gives you a gun. You make your own guns because the revolution. If they see you with automatic weapons imported from abroad, they say you planned an insurgency. It is no longer spontaneous. The world only understand spontaneous uprising. They do not understand planned insurgency. Go through your history, please. I thank you all very much for listening this morning. I know we didn't take much of your calls, but what I can say to you is that on Friday, we are going to be live once again. But we'll be live again this evening, I preach morning and night. I will try to sleep before this evening is upon us. Please, very, very important. We will reconvene 7 p.m. this evening. But with all the love in my heart and best wishes to those of you who are coming out today to protest, and also those of you leaving the army, the Navy and the Air Force to come and join Nigerian youths in this revolution, with all the love in my heart, from me, from here, good morning.